inside, the old gods granted me a vision of the way to change reality. In the shadows creeping, can't rest your weary head. No time for you to sleep now, or evil it will spread. So gather all your friends and listen to my tale. Adventure story shaping the magic and the veil. Dragons, devils, demons, and creatures that I fear, and heroes of the north. Just please don't be scared. The heroes are the monsters to the enemy. It all depends upon the way that you proceed. Original GM, we're here to set you free. Come join in the adventure. Who you wanna be? Who you wanna be? We are heroes. We are
Welcome back to Original GM. I am Hupahu, once again joined with Wachi and Chikala, and we are on the second episode of Into the Heavens. You guys ready?
Yeah.
When last we left off, majority of your party was at Noah's, which is a orangutan with two chimpanzees that follow him around. And you saw the spell jamming vessels, or the strange vessels that you assume are, that's what they are, all about underneath the roof. The first level looks like this, and the roof covers the rest of it, but there are elevators that go up. The one that you guys specifically went up is this one. And when you get to the top, up at the top, there are also bays with different types of vessels sitting in them, and he tells you that is his showroom. The ones up on top are all for sale, and there's several of them of different types, but none of them look like a normal sailing ship. Down below there was a normal sailing ship, but up here all these look strange. There's one that looks like a squid, there's another that looks like a hammerhead shark, and then you see one that looks like a trade vessel of some type with like wings that come off of it that look like dragon wings almost, that come off of it. Part of the ship is made of wood, part of it has metal on it, you know, and then you see another one that looks like a single man craft. It's yellow and has some sort of sail attached to the front of it that's sparkling and somewhat see-through. Anyway, that's where the majority of the party is. And he's walking across the top of that into his office with you guys, and you guys will come into his office. And that group in itself is everybody but Mal, Tuffy, Lily, and Myra, and Gorgain. Everybody else is there. What do you guys want to do? Walking across the plank and coming up to his office. As you recall, he seemed to have a thing for Eras, so she's up front, Vay's right behind you.
Zira would tell the party, I think I'm gonna go get Lily and Myra. I think Lily would be super interested in all of this. I know
Okay.
that she needs a new spell jamming vessel. So.
Hmm.
Zira.
Okay. Gordon kind of looks at you. He's like, he left these to you. Why don't you just select here all of them? Tell him to come.
Because I want to go talk to Tuffy and I was trying to not make a thing of it.
Oh, okay. Cool, Gordon says out loud. He says, cool, we'll be up here.
Cool. Should turn around and go.
Okay. You see the orangutan, you know, he's dressed in normal clothing. He kind of looks back as you're leaving and smiles at you with his orangutan face. Goes into his office and opens the door and just walks in, leaves it open. When you walk into his office, you see it's up on the second floor, and actually it's more like a fourth floor the way it is because the levels are really tall. But there's a huge bay window behind his desk that looks out over the city itself, the city proper. And so you'd be looking to the north from where you're at, from Nose right here, and you see the Lovers Park and the statue, and you can see the High Court of Heart's Faith and all that, and then all the gates in this direction. It's a really good vantage point. You can see it even from where you're standing, like out through the windows. They're huge windows. There's chairs and tables all over, as you can see, and then his main desk, even a table behind his desk. He just kind of walks up to his desk and stands next to the chair there and starts looking at some papers on his desk and rolling them up and putting some things away. And then he looks down in the bottom drawer and he pulls out a bunch of scrolls, but they're made of, it looks like there's some kind of cloth in between the actual parchment used to help roll it up. And he starts putting those on the desk. He goes, have a seat, please. Zira, you turn around and go back to the elevator.
Yeah.
You didn't pay attention to how he had the elevator go up and down, but you walk in and you turn and look, and it's got a lever, and the lever's pointed to the right now. It looks like you can't go any farther, and then it has a line that's painted to the left. And when you walk in, you have to open the gate again to get into it. So you open the gate up,
Yeah.
you get in, close the gate.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what?
Turn it to the left.
Turns to the left, you hear some clicks and stuff, and it starts going down. It gets to the bottom, door open. You have to open the door. It doesn't open. You open it?
Yeah.
Okay. You close it back?
Yeah.
Okay. You close it back, and you can see all these vessels that are all around in this area as you come out, and right across from you, from where you're standing, as you're starting to go back, turn your back to go to the other way. You see, I'm going to give you a visual real quick of the docks. Right across over here, in that area, you see a vessel that looks just like Harrison Littleberg's vessel looked. That was crashed and stuck in the ice up in the north, in the Drow City, in Deepwater.
Yeah.
It looks like that vessel. It's just sitting there. It could be a coincidence, you don't know, but you don't see anybody on board or anything like that.
Where is it parked across from?
It's right here on the other side of where you come down from the elevator. You come down right here.
You.
It's this vessel right here.
Oh, okay.
So it's across here quite a ways, probably, I don't know, 80 feet, 90 feet away is this dock that it's parked at. So you turn and go this way.
There's nobody there though, or anything?
No, there's nobody there. As you look around, there's nobody anywhere. Like it looks empty,
She'll tell the party that's upstairs, there's a vessel down here that looks like a Harrison Littleberg's vessel. I don't see anybody. Could be a coincidence, but maybe it's not.
Harrison Littleberg. Why is that familiar?
The guy that we saved from down south.
The smuggler.
Yes, the smuggler. Ship looks like his. Anyway.
Well, that ship was crashed. Maybe it's the same kind of ship or something.
Just thought I'd mention it.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Go.
You go? Okay, you're heading that way. You guys all sit down or whatever you want to do, you know. Vey looks at Eras and he's like, let you take the seat right there in the middle, right here. He like holds the seat up for you.
Sit down.
Okay. He sits right here. Gordon stays standing. He kind of just goes over here and stays standing. What does Zero do?
Zero's not there.
Or not Zero, yeah.
Ray?
Ray.
She'll
and
wait
Velia.
to see where she sits.
So there's a seat open on
She'll
each
wait
end,
for Velia.
separate from one another. Or there's a table here.
Yeah, if she
Table
sits down
here.
in one of those, she'll just stand right behind her.
All right.
Like kind of next to her.
Okay. Do you sit in one of those or?
Oh. She'll go sit at that table by Gordon.
Okay. There's two chairs there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where you go, Ray?
Yeah.
All right.
Ray's Velia's support character. No.
Braid stands behind you, Eris.
Okay.
Just like over the top of you. You're used to somebody doing that. It's usually your brother, but yeah. And he's like, well, here's the star charts, but before we get too excited and carry on, let me first tell you what we have out there. And he puts them up on the table. In case you're interested in a vessel, if you're looking for star charts, that means you probably already have one, but do you have one of those? And he looks like towards the door. You guys look?
Yeah.
You look and you see the vessels, there's different types of them, and there's like glitter that goes off around the vessels and shiny light that goes and it goes twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. And then you guys like, do you laugh?
No.
No? Each of them be rare with rare parts. They have things that you may not be aware of that are worth your liking. So before we get started too far, even having you look at any of them, these vessels are the creme de la creme. They're the top. They're the whip on the cream. They're the star in the heavens. Best of the best of the best. Which means they're expensive. Now, I invited you in here, and he looks right over at Eris. You're gonna get a discount simply for your beauty. So whatever we do here, I won't be making a lot. I'll just be able to enjoy some time in your presence. Would you like something to drink? Any of you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very well, very well. If you're hungry or need anything, let me know. But, so, what is it you're looking for? You see Vey just kind of turn and look at you, and then he looks back at him and he says, well, we can give you those things, but there might be others that would be interested as well. Do we get some kind of referral bonus for anyone else that purchases a vessel? Well, of course, if I'm selling two, it'll be cheaper all the way around. We can work some kind of deal. Basic, good. We need something that can carry 20 tons, probably, and maybe 25 people, something like that. And he looks at you. Nothing over exuberant, expensive, and he kind of goes, well, let me slow you down there. What are you going to be using it for? He says, well, we plan to be a smuggler. And he looks right at it. Everybody in the room, even Gordon's like, looks at Vey, and he goes, see the orangutan kind of stop, look at him, and then he kind of raises a tooth. He's like, well, if that's the case, and he puts his hands on the desk, we wouldn't be interested in selling you anything because you couldn't get any kind of licensing or any. And about that point, you hear somebody walk in behind you guys through the doorway.
What?
You see an elf, braids coming out of his long silver hair. They're mixed in with his hair. There's a ton of them. They have beads and all kinds of things on them. They come down to his waist. His hair's kind of wild. He's elven. You're not sure what kind. You've never, his skin is almost a silver color, but not quite like his hair. And his eyes are the color of metal, like liquid metal. It's like shiny, like aluminum or polished metal, like chrome. Wings that are angelic and white, and he's wearing all white. Walks in and he goes, "Ah, excuse me." He looks at you too. And the guy at the door, he goes, "May I help you?" He kind of looks at him. He goes, "Yes, I'm here with the paperwork that they requested and had filed with the merchants of heaven, as well as other dealers and the wind riders and such like that. They're now guild members." And he walks past you guys and hands this guy a bunch of scrolls. And then he turns and looks at you guys and he goes, "All of the paperwork has been done."
Thank you.
"You're welcome." And he turns and he walks out. You see him like looking over the paperwork and then looking at you and he goes, "Oh, well, of course, earlier that was just a joke." And he smiles. He says, "Pardon my lack of charisma." And he starts looking through everything and you see that you guys have these papers.
Ilya would like to roll observation on the elf as he's walking out.
Okay.
Any type of identifying marks or symbols.
Okay. Roll that.
What the hell?
I used to know all of this until I started playing a second character. Yes, exactly. Ooh.
So
That was
yeah. So you're looking for some kind of symbol or something. You're looking at him from behind.
As he goes to walk out.
Yeah, as he goes to walk out. Give me just a second, and of course. I should have had this prepared. I know, yeah, symbol. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Is there anything on him that identifies him as a druid?
No,
No?
not at first glance when I saw him, no. His cloak and robes were pulled over so you couldn't really see what was on his hips or anything like that. He had some kind of sword on his hip because his cloak was shaped like there was a sword or a scabbard or something like that.
But you couldn't see it.
But you couldn't see it as he came in. Now, maybe when he leaned over and all that, if you would have looked then, there might have been a better chance. But that would have been interrupting me, so I could give it to you for there. Let's do that. Let's just do that.
Okay.
For your patience and your wonderful player skills in modern day charisma.
Aw.
I'm gonna give it to
Thank you.
Right.
you.
Sweet.
A silver arrow with green fletching is on the end of the pommel of his sword. As he walks out, he kind of turns his sword like that with his cloak, almost like he turns it towards you in case someone does look, and that's what you see. Your religion? Okay. You don't know what it. You don't know what it is. Anyway, he walks out and he starts looking over. Noah's like, "Oh, well, of course it's a pleasure." And he stands up at that point and extends his hands. He says towards Eris, he says, "To meet
I'll stand up and
a new guild member and merchant to the first plane of heaven. Of course, ma'am." He shakes your hand.
shake his
Yeah.
Such an honor, you all. And he looks at each of you, he's like this. He puts his hands together. Such an honor, such an honor. He yells at his boys then. He says, Kale and Tifnu, go. We're going to give them the best vessel and we're going to get it at the best price. Pull the Sun Chaser out. You see, they kind of look at Eris and smile. Sun Chaser.
Legends of More?
Okay, roll it.
81 under 85.
No, not in heaven. You have a negative in heaven? You don't know what that is
Yeah,
yet,
that's
but no, you miss. You miss. You've never heard of anything.
Shoot, let me know. I don't know what that is.
He stands up and he says, if you will, please come with me. And you see the two chimpanzees take off out the door and down the walkway, and then off to a side chute to the left. And when you come out, of course, you can see down to the bottom level where the ocean is in the bay and all the docks down there and the other ships. You don't see that ship she was talking about right here. It must be under the dock. You're standing on top. No, you guys are on that side, so you do see it. Actually, you through where you're at, you'll see it. I'll pull up the map and show you. And she's right. It looks just like the vessel. Here's the map. You guys are up here, or no, up here, and you can see down past the bridge, and you see it. Excuse me. It does look identical to his. And as you're standing there, you see the chimpanzees pulling ropes around the corner on these big pulley systems that pulls this tradesman up, which is exactly the same as the one you're looking down at. But this one's red and it has gold on it and some kind of weird metallic substance that's chrome-like on the front of it with a ram, two eyeballs that have windows that it's inlaid into the side of the ship. Yeah, they pull it up. And this is what it looks like.
Dude.
The specs on the thing and everything, if you want it with no video. So there,
Thank you.
this is what it looks like. So this is a window right here, and then on the other side it has one too. This is a ram. It has
It's like a beta fish.
these wings that come out. It does. It looks like a beta fish. This thing's called the Sun Chaser. It is supposedly a tradesman class, or yeah, tradesman class vessel. And when they get pulled around, it's right in front of you, and then a thing comes off the top of the deck and unfolds. It goes all the way to where you guys are. It doesn't look, anything like the vessels you've seen, like Gordon's vessel or anything. It's smaller. It's as far as size and stuff, it might actually look a little bigger because of the wings that come off of it and everything.
It's made out of wood though, right?
It's made out of wood and then some shiny chrome material and gold, inlaid with gold. It's 120 feet long by 30 feet wide. So it's half the width of the egg vessel, but the same length.
Okay.
But even farther because the wing ventricle things that go out to the side, you don't know what these are. They look like rudders of some sort. And they're reinforced with some kind of shiny material that has what looks like pulsating energy moving through them, like something living. Almost like it's blood vessels that are going in between where those things are located right here, with energy that's red. And
So pretty.
yeah. You go on board or you walk up? He motions you towards it.
I'll walk up to it.
Bay's like, so tell us about this ship. He's like, well, she's got double the hull points and strength as a normal vessel, her type. or at least close to double, I would say, with its AR rating and the new plating that we have on the side of it, the reactive armor, as we call it. And you see all on it, it has these plates as you walk up to the deck to go onto it that are separated from the ship by like this much as they go down, but then they're connected at the top. And he tells you those plates are not cheap to replace, but they're meant to stop blasts. They could save your vessel in a hardcore situation. Yeah, they that reactive armor helps with the AR rating. We have this one retrofitted to where the ventricles and the sails and rudders can be moved independently in a way that you'll have much more control than you normally would. The Sun Chaser can turn quicker than a normal vessel that's a tradesman such as herself. I believe her movement class is around C. And then its tonnage is about 25 tons, which is what you wanted, right? And Bay nods. It'll hold about 25 people. Its armaments are a piercing ram, a light radiant cannon, and a medium and three medium radiant cannons across it. In all four different directions you can shoot. Most of these cannons can be shot in two of the other locations. You'll see as you get on board, and he gets on board. He walks on behind you guys as you guys come on board. He says, so the Sun Chaser has the added armor reinforcement. It gives it an additional hull points to her. And then we also upgraded the ventricle rudders, giving it a better movement class on her. And then the armaments are upgraded from radiant cannons, which do concussion damage as well as flame. And he points at you and he says that its AR is increased a significant amount due to the unique reinforced plates that will fall off when enough force strikes them. Take a blast for you. So feel free to look around. She's run by a major or minor helm, sold separately, of course. If you want one of those, you'll have to go down to Jammers. They're much more controlled than these vessels are. I can't sell you one. And you'll need to have all the paperwork for that as well. And he goes, but it might be in that stuff. Let me look, he says. He says, you all enjoy yourselves, just look around, tell me what you think. Come on back to the office when you're done.
Thank you.
So you go on board and you realize it's not powered, but it's somehow floating. You think it has something to do with these cords that are coming out from the dock attached to the ship.
Powering it.
Doing something, you're not sure what, levitating it, something. And you can look around the ship. So this is the diagram of the vessel. This one down here on the bottom is the main deck. That's on top when you're looking at the ship or you're standing on it. You would be standing on the deck in those locations right there. Then if you went down into the belly of the vessel, this is where the belly is right here. Yeah. Cargo holds are in the 7, which is right in the center of the vessel right here is where it holds it all. It holds 25 tons in these two areas right here, which gives you an idea of how big this area is.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, this is a big vessel. It's big. 125 feet is pretty big. Each of everything is all, labeled on this map so you can see what it looks like. The two chimpanzees come on board while you guys are looking at stuff. It takes you quite a while to look through this whole vessel. They just kind of show up every once in a while in the hallway or something and look at you and nod like they're kind of following you, or if you had any questions that are there, they don't say anything to you guys though. Unless you do to them. So you get a complete look at it. Vey figures it up. He's like, yeah, we could carry more. No, we just need one run, he says, and that would last us for years. One run full. Matter of fact, if we're gonna buy something like this, we should use it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They told us to
Yeah.
blend in.
Absolutely.
If we can even get this through here. So he says, I've seen enough. He says, we should go check it out. As you guys are coming up, all kind of gathering on the deck, this guy comes walking up with the wings and everything. And he has a major helm in his hand. And he just walks up to you guys and looks at Eris and nods at everyone. He sets it down. I believe you will need this, he says. Let me introduce myself. My name is Gideon. I come from the house of Solinar. And he holds his hand up like this. Okay, you should already know that. but
I
yeah.
know, yeah, actually, no, I do. I don't have religion, but I know who Solinar is. Strong character. I know who Solinar is.
Yeah, it's in the city of Beacon. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an elven.
Yeah, deity,
God.
elven god.
Yeah.
It's in Beacon. Your main connection to him is Gordon's mother
Yeah.
in that group.
What did he
I
say
was,
to us?
my name is Gideon, he says,
Gideon?
of the house Solinar, and he salutes and looks at you all, and he says, you do have friends in heaven, and he looks around at you.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Eris would say.
If you have any need, you may call upon me. I have been conscripted to help, and it is to my pleasure. And he smiles.
Thank you, Gideon.
Of course. To change heaven, we must change hell. You see him bow, and his wings come out of the way until we meet again. He turns and walks down the plank.
Just gave us a major help.
Yeah, he gives you a major helm, which you know is on your planet like rare. Like, you know, what the hell must not be here. Obviously, you're seeing vessels, so you don't know how much it's worth. You don't know any of that.
It's crazy.
Vay just looks at you guys like, holy shit. Stop there. So you get to Lily and Myra and Tuffy and Mal.
Nice.
You wake them up.
I was gonna talk to Tuffy first, but yeah, I guess I'll wake Lily up.
Okay.
I'll just wake Lily up, and
Okay.
I'll let her wake everybody else up.
Okay. You're tired. When she wakes you up, you're like tired.
Did you get enough sleep? No? Oh goodness. Well,
Tuffy's standing there. He's like, I've been watching over y'all here. What's going on?
well, I came to wake you guys up. So there's multiple reasons. One, I needed to talk to you about some personal stuff. Should we get Tuffy?
Oh.
And the second reason was because they're over there trying to buy a spell jamming vessel and getting star charts and talking about Ray's talking about doing something with the nectar of the gods and smuggling it out of heaven, and I'm not really sure exactly what their plan is, but I came to get you because I know you need
A new ship.
a new ship. So I figured I'd wake you up and let you know what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. What?
How would I even buy a ship?
I don't know.
No, let's go see.
I've got like 57 platinum. She'll laugh.
I think we should all go together, he says.
Nothing.
Okay, I wanted to ask you.
You
some
wake up Myra?
questions.
Okay.
I got Myra first.
Mal.
And then Gorgain.
Mal. Okay.
No.
All right. Meanwhile, while she's doing that.
Tuffy, what do you know about the orbs?
He does that.
What?
I thought it was something else anyway. Thank goodness.
What'd you think it was?
Blessings, Nera. He says nothing. Anyway, He puts his hands on his hip. He's like, so, the orbs.
Yeah, the orbs.
What do you want to know about them? Exactly.
So, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know enough for being a holder of one of them. Like, what happens, for example, like when the prophecy is completed? What happens to the orbs? What happens? I don't know. What do you have any books I can read? Or do you know anything about them?
That was a lot all at once.
It was. My main question is something going to happen to the orbs because of what we're doing? And if so, do I get to keep the intelligence that the orb gives me after that happens?
According to my research, the Grand Eternal Orbs continue on. They change according to the prophecy, where they set within it. But they never are destroyed or stop working. They just change.
Change like how?
Like,
Like the change that's already happened with
yes.
them? How they were near us?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's very convoluted. And this is a guesstimation, but it's a very, very good guesstimation based on facts of over 1,000 years of history. They continue. That's how we were able to come up with some of the information that we came up with when looking for the orbs, remember?
Yeah.
Came from the Temple of Nera and the library. It was from my knowledge of what I had obtained there. The last known being or hero or whoever it might have been that possessed that orb had a record of such things, just like you.
Who was it?
For the Temple of Ariax,
Yeah.
It was in honor of the god Larvae, the wielder that had it. I do not believe it was Larvae himself. If I was to guess, I would say King Icarus.
You're kidding.
No. It seems obvious that that is his orb.
That's amazing. Okay.
Well, I suppose we should go.
Yeah, let's go. Thank you.
So you get everybody together, you head back over that way, and you make it into, you make it up to his office where, or up to the, actually, yeah, you know the direction, so you just take them, you just go up the elevator, go up there.
Yeah, if
Okay.
nobody comes out.
Yeah,
Before we walk out of the room,
yeah.
Lily would look at everybody and make sure that our disguises are still intact after sleeping.
That's a good idea. Yeah, no, it would require a few little adjustments here and there. You guys make it back to his office, kind of all come into his office, and he's in there and he's sitting down waiting for you. Has all the papers. He goes, so these papers are blank. Obviously they're for someone. I'm not sure exactly which one of y'all. It's a strangeness. They're all legal, but it seems that you're just becoming a new merchant, and I'm not sure who exactly I'm doing business with. Vases, olives. And he goes, oh, all of you? He's like, of course.
Yes. Ares is going to telepathy Gordon
Okay.
and be like, when we get back home, remind me to go have lunch with your mama and tell her thank you for this.
He says, yeah, okay.
It was her. You know it was her.
Probably. Seems obvious that it was. Obviously she knows more than she's letting on. And Bay says, you may call us heavenly explorers. Oh, very well. Okay. And he gets out some ink and quill and everything. he starts filling it out. He goes, so I'll be taking all your signatures? And Dave's like, yes. There are some that are coming as well. Vabel telepathy to Lily's like, are you guys on your way?
Yeah, we're headed now.
Come up to the top, come in.
Yep.
Come into the office together, and he's like, oh, and he looks at you all and nods. He's like, I remember her, and he smiles and looks at you. You see orangutan doing this paperwork in front of the party. He looks at you, goes, pleasure to meet you as well. I'm Noah. This is my fine establishment. Looks like you all are new merchants, heavenly merchants, and we're doing the paperwork for your vessel. Of course, we haven't discussed payment. And he kind of looks up and Vay goes, it's not a worry. We'll take care of that. Of course, there's supposed to be a discount because you're going to sell us 2 vessels. And he goes, oh, yes, of course. And he goes, and those will both be going underneath this paperwork. And he goes, oh, of course. And he goes, and what other vessel are you interested in? You see Vay just kind of turn and look back at Lil and say, what do you want?
Did you see anything similar to my beetle?
Oh no. No, these are different. He goes, Beetle! You see the guy. Beetle.
It was a ship that I had that was custom designed.
Oh, so you're a jammer then. You know your ships. He goes, well, there's lots out there to choose from. What exactly are you looking for? And Vay goes, by the way, what is the price of the Sun Chaser? He goes, that's normally around close to, well, it's an exact of 777,777 sevens, you know. And he smiles at him. And he's got these kind of yellow teeth, and Gordon goes, or Vay goes, okay, so almost $1 million. He's like, yeah, that number. And he goes, in all forms of currency, right? And he's like, yes, of course. So I should assume the other vessel's about the same amount of price if it's a similar vessel? He goes, yeah, we can do a deal with that. Tell you what, I'll do $1.5 million. How about that? For both. Gordon goes, that sounds like a good deal. And Vay's like, done. And Gordon's back there, got his pipe lit, and he's smiling, kind of looking over at Lily. So you got a helm for that thing?
Mm-hmm.
But not with you. He goes, oh, well, you'll need to go to Jammers. You can't take the vessel until you bring back the helm and attach it and put everything on it, the regulators and all that stuff. Both vessels will be regulated. And Vay goes, excuse me? Regulated? What do you mean? So, well, regulators help with all sorts of things. Coming into port, that lowers your speed. There's all kinds of reasons to have a regulator. They're required by law. He goes, does it regulate our top speed while we're in space? And he goes, yeah, they all do.
Lily is going to telepathy to Vay, well, to everybody in the party so they know what's going on, but specifically to Vay, and tell him that, go ahead and get whatever we want to get here for the party and everything like that. But me personally, I'm going to, I think I'm just going to have my ship rebuilt back home.
He telepathies to you. He says, I saw a small vessel down there that could hold 2 people.
Really?
You could probably store it on board this new ship. Maybe you should go look at that.
Okay.
That way we would have another craft that I don't know what the distance on the thing would be or anything like that. We can ask him all these questions, he says.
Okay.
By the way, what are the breathing hours on the Sun Chaser? Oh, it's around 6,000, I believe.
Do you have anything small and fast?
I do. I absolutely do.
Can we
I
see?
got the Needle. It's 2-man craft. Really, 1 man with extra baggage, but 2 people could. It has 2 seats, but you wouldn't be able to carry much unless it was in your lap and that kind of. Normally they can be altered in the back to carry more. This particular one is more of a racing jammer, and that's how it was crafted and sold. It has a bunch of aftermarket stuff on it. Wouldn't really, it would go for more, less of a price actually than what we had discussed. And he's like, how much less? He's like, around $1 million total instead of $1.5 million. And he's like, well, we'll do $1.25 million and just call that a tip. Make sure we get all this shit taken care of as soon as you can, as quickly as you can. We have a lot of business to take care of. Very well, he says, and he stands up. He's like, if y'all could just please come sign. And he starts pulling out all the paperwork for everybody to sign. At that point, Gordon tells Lily and Zira, Tuffy, and all you guys what just happened. That this angelic being named Gideon just showed up from Solinar and took care of all this paperwork and bought us a helm and made us merchants of heaven and all this stuff. I assume it's from my mother. I don't know. He did say something strange to us. What did he say? Failure. Gordon says to you in your head. Do you remember what Gideon said before he left? You or Ray?
Does he say that just to...
He says to Velia and Ray, he says, you guys remember what he says in your head?
He said, you want to change heaven, you have to... or if you want to... What's it? If you want to change heaven, you have to change hell first. Yeah.
That was it, he says. He tells Lily that and Zira. That's all he said. And then he also said if we ever needed him to call upon him, his name was Gideon.
Kind of makes sense, though, if you think about it, Zero would say.
How so?
Well, if there's no Bahamut, what happens to that
Sphere.
That sphere? Dina would take it over, right?
Yeah, well, I would assume, yeah.
Could she be lawful evil if she ruled all dragons, including good ones? And then what would happen in the first plane of hell? She rules it.
She would have a connection to heaven then, wouldn't she?
So,
Possibly.
would that make hell neutral? The first plane, anyway?
In theory,
If she kept that as her domain.
right?
Gordon would say if it could change, if something like that was even possible, and there was the cause and effect of the situation, it would be lawful neutral, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can't see how that would... Hell become... The first plane of hell becoming lawful neutral? Really? That... I guess it's not that far of a stretch, but... Interesting.
Eris, at that point, she would pipe
You're
up.
each coming and signing the thing as all this telepathy's going on? Scrolls.
Eris would say to you guys, so if this all happens and Nera gets her vengeance, what happens to her sphere if she becomes Ariax again? You guys thought about this?
It just means it's left open.
Well,
This is such
so
a deep
what
theological
happened?
discussion,
What
Gordon
happened?
says.
What happened last time?
Well, it all reset from what we know. Every 300
Right,
years, things go
but-
back and nobody remembers.
so-
What we're trying to do is stop that, right?
Why did Nera become vengeance? Or why did Ariax become Nera, I guess?
Because Larvain was murdered by
Right.
her sister Erishka.
Who was killed this time? It's a cycle, right?
Gold Star.
Gold Star. Right?
Yeah. We'll be breaking the cycle, though.
So that might not.
Theologically, will any of that matter anymore if that happens? He gets you guys to sign these things and starts talking to you about what all they are and everything. It's a merchant's license, a port authority license to come in, to come into the city with your vessel. Then the ownership and title of the ships themselves that you're purchasing. The insurance that is on those ships. The agreement to the regulators and not taking them off or messing with them in any way. And during the conversation, he tells you they have the big vessel has an anti-charger, which is used for traversing from plane to plane. Once you learn your star charts and you can learn where your celestial beacons are, which is what they're called. Basically portals for the vessels to go into space on the prime material plane or various other places. You must travel through a portal, and he explains some of that to you in passing as he's talking about it, assuming that you know most of it. But he tells you the anti-chargers make it to where your magical weapons or devices don't lose energy. They don't lose or anything like that when you traverse between these barriers, like you've been told happens with plane shift.
Right.
The laws and all that stuff that are attached to this are only here in the heavens, which is Lunia only. The regulation is just on this lower first plane is where spelljamming vessels.
So once we get out, we can take the regulator off, or have it taken off.
Maybe you don't even know what it is or how it works or anything like that. You don't know what the fuck it is,
All right.
or where it is. You have to do some research, do some talk, do something. You're not sure. You can ask him. Is I ask him, what? I don't know. So you go look at the vessel.
Yeah.
It's down on the bottom level, and it's a small little vessel that they pull, that the chimpanzees go down with you. And they introduce yourselves to you. Well, one of them does. He goes, "I'm Kale."
Hi, Gail. I'm Lily.
I think it's in here, he says. He opens it up, and it looks brand new, like it's never been used. Bright, shiny yellow in color, with what looks like blue plasma running down from the front of it, like almost like flames that go down the side of it. It looks like a miniature. It looks like a torpedo with wings that come off of it on the front and on the sides and in the back. And up front, right in front of where you sit, there's a gun of some sort. You look at it as a cannon. It's some kind of thing. You learn that it's the same as the other cannons. The ability to have concussion and fire damage with it at the same time. And it's a single. It actually has two barrels on it, so you think it shoots two shells at once when it shoots. But other than that, it's a one-person thing. It looks like behind you that the other person can sit facing backwards, and that it can be installed there too. There's a spot to install it. You might even be able to buy a second one and put it on there. You're not sure where the person in the back could fire it as well. Plasma cannons. So, yeah, it's really neat looking. It looks like it. If you're thinking to yourself, you don't know what kind of helm would go in this thing. You start searching around and look, and you can see up towards the front an area to open it up where the helm would go in. And you realize you've seen major helms. Your major helm would fit right into this, which is a little scary.
That much power in
That
this
much
tiny
power in such
little.
a tiny little vessel. You're like, wow. You know that the oxygen levels of this are going to be short. Like, you capture oxygen and it keeps it in the bubble for a certain amount of time until you breathe it all up. And if you don't refill it somehow by crossing into another plane of oxygen, be it another ship, planet, whatever it is, then your oxygen runs. So this is not a spacefaring vessel like from planet to planet.
Right.
You don't think. This is like a short jaunt type vessel.
For around Ashentoe.
Yeah. Be perfect for inside the atmosphere, going
Right.
from place to place for sure. Better
And,
than Spelljammer vessel probably, because it could be hidden better. And,
Right. It reminds me of when I first met Myra and I told her to watch my back,
yeah,
and she would ride backwards on my horse.
yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah. That's
You guys
what
got
it
an
feels.
upgrade.
Right. How many ever years and levels later?
He kind of, the chimp's watching you, you know. He's kind of watching you look at everything. And Myra's with you, of course, and talking about it. She goes, but I don't have a fucking gun. And she goes, hey, can we get another gun for the back here? And he's like, yes, I'm sure we could. He turns around and goes into the garage where he had pulled the thing up and starts looking around and finds one and brings it out.
Nice.
We can install it for you.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And he does. He starts installing it.
Beautiful. That's what.
While he's doing it, you see there's like a mechanic box that he has that Myra's looking at it and she's looking at you like, you know,
What's in it? That's what.
you look all kinds of weird tools and stuff. She goes, I don't know, but I'm assuming you probably need it.
Or something like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She nods at you. He starts fixing it. She goes, I'll stay down here with him if you want.
Okay.
You can go up and discuss whatever prices are. She's pretty. Can we name her?
Yeah, you name her this time.
She looks at me.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna do something about that damn yellow, though. I gotta tell you.
She nods. She goes, can we paint this? And he's like, yes, of course we can. Of course, we can do that too. Let me get my brother. And he jumps and starts climbing up this bar, this pole that goes all the way to the level above you guys instead of taking that elevator. He just climbs up real quick.
Oh, hey!
Yeah, and he looks down at you.
Can I go that way?
Sure. And he smiles like,
I'll follow him out.
okay, you start climbing
Yeah.
walls.
You want me to roll it or you want to?
Go ahead.
Please don't fall.
Oh, you got this. I do. Basically anything but 100. Yeah, 55.
All right, you climb up, and it's easy to climb. You don't get near as quick as he does, but you do. You climb up, and he smiles, and you get up there. And he's like, "Come on, what's your name?" He says.
Lily.
Lily. Boy, not many folks travel like that. That's pretty impressive.
It's fun.
He goes, "Let's get my brother." And he goes, "Tifnu, Tifnu, get your ass out of here!" You guys hear that from the office, and the chimp gets up and goes out. You've gotten all the paperwork signed and everything seems to be done, and he says that this paperwork goes in a specific place where the helm is located. If it's not there, if you do something illegal, then you can get in a lot of trouble. He says the authorities. He goes, the Radiant Wing and various others within space will pull you over, and you better have it. So I can show you where it goes, he says, and he gets up and starts handing you the stuff, and you see Vay just go, starts taking all the paperwork and everything. And he's got that bag that he always carries with him, and he just kind of stuffs it down in the bag. It's pretty big. It's like this big that he wears on
Right.
his hips. You've seen him carry an orb in it before and drag an orb around in it and shit. So he puts it in there.
That thing. I forgot about that. I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna bring it up right now.
All right, you guys come into the area where the ship is. You walk up to it, and you see Lily. When you come out the door, Lily, you're right there. You see him walking with the paperwork and everything. Gordon looks at you. He's like, "Is it gonna work?"
It is. I'm having him do some minor adjustments. But yeah, it's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I think it'll be perfect for Myra and I to zip around.
Cool. Gordon's like, "Too bad you can't get your major helm out of your bag, right?"
Right.
You see the orangutan kind of stop. Goes, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to overhear. They have places they can do that here. They charge a fee, but you can get the stuff out of them if you want to."
Really?
Yeah.
That's what Eris would say.
Would it-
Where?
Will it make the bag of holding work, or just give you what's in it?
They can make it work for a temporary amount of time, for a fee.
Okay.
Hold on just a second. He tells you the place that they do that is called Holy Flame, and it's over next to the Grapevine.
Okay. Is it a temple?
Oh no. It's a shop. They do all kinds of assortment of things. They sell things. They make things. They open bags of holding. They even send people from heaven back to their planes of existence for a price.
Interesting.
Gordon will go and install the major helm. He knows how to put them in, so he goes over on board and starts putting it in the vessel. And
So,
he
this,
telepathies to you guys that he found whatever that thing is called, a regulator. He says, I found that it's attached to where the helm attaches to the ships. It absorbs some of the helm's energy into it or something. And he said, and there's this other thing here that I can only assume is, this one's the regulator and the other one's probably the anti-charger that helps. So I don't know which is which. I'm guessing, he says. One's bigger than the other.
so is this ship like our other ships? Does it have like a ring that you have to start it, or?
No.
No?
Anybody that comes on board can take it over.
Interesting.
It's in charge of it, you know.
Yeah.
It's connected to the helm. You have to touch the helm. I don't know anything about rings and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like,
Who says that?
Gordon says where we could get something like that. I don't know.
No idea. That was Jamal
Maybe
that
Jamal,
made that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe talk to him about it.
I guess I just assumed that my ring would work with the new helm. It didn't even occur to me that it might not work.
He attached to the other one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gordon puts the paperwork they put the paperwork where it's supposed to be. Gordon puts the helm in. And like I said, it's a big, beautiful ship, man. It's empty and sparkly. Any casters?
I just would say I can do it. I mean, unless you want to. No?
No, I'm waiting on mine downstairs.
I'll do it. Iris would say, smile.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go to the helm room.
I do.
On the ship, and you walk up to it. You see it pulsating there, and touch your hand to it.
Yeah.
You feel the ship like it is your body, and you feel out from it and into it. And you can feel all the way to where you're standing. You can concentrate on different portions of the ship, and you realize you can also use the energy of the helm to move the vessel forward, backward, up, down, right, left, turn, whatever you want to do. You also realize that this is not like the other ship where you can change the ship. You can't change the ship. You can't open doors. You can't do any of that. It's not connected in that kind of way.
Okay.
So all the doors, including the cargo holds and all that stuff, are all manual, where people have to walk up and open them.
Right. She would tell everybody that.
Okay.
It's all manual.
And
it's not like the other ship.
Also, the armaments that are on the ship, you can feel them. You feel where they all are, but you can't use them. You can't access them from here. You realize that somebody has to man those to use them.
She would say that somebody has to man the weapons.
Better than nothing.
No, it's badass.
We were slightly spoiled before, so.
They will walk up to one of the cannons and sit at it and kind of grab it and hold it and look at it. These things swivel nice, dude. This is brand new. Cool technology, he says. Engineering, whatever. And he looks down. He's like, this whole thing swivels, and he like kind of turns it, and you hear it like roll.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys want to take it for a ride?
The two chimps get done with Lily's vessel and come up and ask if you guys want to bring it up here, they say. This is considered a non-commercial vessel, he says, which means that you actually can take this one without helm if you want to.
Okay.
Still, you have to have all the paperwork and stuff like that, which you guys do, but you can take it without the helm on it.
Let's just put
It's like a collector's type thing.
Nice. Well, I do have a helm, so let's just put it in the bigger ship for now.
So the chimps will get it all together and start bringing it up.
What color did Myra pick?
She ended up picking like a gray and black with some red trim in very few spots. 2 spots that look like eyeballs towards the front of it. And then where the wings attach, it's a little bit red and fades into that gray and then black. It's hid. You think in space it would be hidden down near from a distance. You wouldn't see it. Yeah. And it has 2 guns on it.
Nice.
Actually 4. 2 to go to the front, 2 to go to the back. They're connected to each other, so it's like 2 shots with 1. And they will start asking the chimpanzees how all this stuff works and how it was built, how it was made, and they start telling you. They start talking to them and telling you. Then he gets up and he says, "Can there be more armaments added to this vessel?" And they're like, "Yeah, we did the other vessel." And Myra looks at you. She says, "They called it the Needle, but I don't really like that name. So, you know, it's to represent stinging. It stings. So I think we should call it the Wasp." She says.
Okay.
Cool. Maybe Black Wasp? Black Wasp? I don't know. Hidden Wasp? A Shadow Wasp? I don't know, that kind of idea. If not, nothing else than Wasp.
Right. Okay.
They, when he says that, they said that you can't, but you have to speak to our dad, he says. And to Noah. And he's like, oh, okay. And Vay gets up, walks down the plank, and goes down to the office to talk to you.
Nice.
All
Look
right.
at my watch. How long has it been?
So-
like how long till that
Next bell.
next bell?
You think it's going to be within the hour?
So she would telepathy everybody that the bell's gonna be within the hour, guys. We're gonna have to. Hey Lily, you know this is Aries. Do you still have that watch? Your silence watch?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna need it. The bell thing's gonna happen within the hour.
All gathered within our room, within one of our rooms over there.
Yeah.
Put that up and get in it.
Yeah.
We should
15
probably-
foot circle.
Yeah.
We should probably all go. That'll be within the hour. I know that we need to get a trinket or something for that brownie.
Well, if I could get it in my damn bag of holding, I got all kinds
Wait,
of
so
shit she
do
would
we
like.
even need that now?
What?
That we're legitimate merchants?
Vay's like, no, not necessarily, but we should still keep the appointment, don't you think?
Yeah, we should. We
I
should.
mean-
We're gonna have to get her something.
You know, smuggling is a lot easier when you're legal.
Yeah, right.
We have more to offer now.
We do.
We do.
You're talking about the Four Corners of Millie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should make that meeting.
Okay. She said an hour after the bell, we could go.
So that's in 2 hours.
It is. We need to all meet in that thing, and then after that, figure something out. But we're gonna give her a trinket of some kind. It's such a weird
It is.
request.
So, if we can go to that Holy Flame place and get into my bag of holding, I have all kinds of little shit she might like. Remember those straws that James invented?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Makes
have
things cold when you
those.
drink them.
Yeah. I have the little mechanical things that make fire
What are these?
that Jamal gave us. I have like 6 of those. I have like 6 of the straws. Yeah,
That
would-
might work.
She would love that.
She might
Maybe
love
this?
that. Lighter? Isn't that what they're called?
Yes.
Yeah, so we can use that if you're willing to part with it.
Yeah. I don't use it.
I can replace it when we get
Gord's like,
home.
I'm not giving my lighter up. Gordon's
I have like 6 of them in my bag of holding.
I don't use it. So
The last time I went to see Jamal, he just gave me a handful of them.
I've never used that one. So
She's setting a meeting up. That should do. Something she could carry, you know.
yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
All right.
So you guys see Vay come back out, and he smiles and he says, "Well, it's all ours." It's given port authority rules, all this stuff on how to do different things. A bunch of legal jargon, shit like that. He walks over, stuffs it in the thing, and stuffs it in, closes the door.
Paperwork for my ship?
Yeah, you got all that. He hands that to you. He
Take it.
says, yeah, it needs to be stored somewhere under ship. There's got to be some spot somewhere close by.
There is. It goes with the helm, where the helm goes. I'm gonna have them put it in the big ship for now until I can get my helm out of my bag of holding.
We can go ahead and move the ship down into the docks and rent the dock that it's on for however much time. I've already taken care of all that. Pick a dock down there. And,
Can I ask you a personal
Nice.
question?
no.
How the hell are you accessing your money?
He nods at you and turns and just kind
Damn
of
it,
walks
Vay.
away for a second.
Oh,
Lily?
yes.
Yeah, and he gets on the ship.
I'll look at his bag.
What would his
Like
What
just
bag?
the bag that he's been pulling all his stuff out of. Putting everything in, that big backpack that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Legends of the Lore.
Okay.
It's a magic item or something.
Okay.
51 under 85.
You made it by 4. You've heard of magic items that create wealth and they never empty, like they're constantly, you can pull wealth out of them and they never empty. It could be one of those. It's possible. And it's not a bag, it's a bag. And he always has it on him.
Yeah.
Always.
That's crazy. Come on.
It could be one of those that you've read about, but you're not sure. You don't know what they look like. You don't know.
Right,
Things
right.
like that.
Okay. Well,
He's like, Eras, take us down.
I will. Hell yeah.
All right.
It's only
Yeah,
the
they get your
second
ship
time.
loaded into the cargo bay. It covers about half the cargo. When you put it down from edge to edge, it covers one of those cargo places. And it weighs probably a ton, so it doesn't cover the whole cargo area. It'll just be a small spot because it's
It's like a sports car.
it's like 13. Yeah, it's like 13 tons on each side or something around there.
Right. So just for me, like, what are the dimensions of the little ship?
So,
Get shaped like an egg, right? Or a torpedo?
no, I'll show you. It's about. 15 feet long and about this wide.
3 foot wide.
Yeah, but probably about 2.5, 3. Probably we'll say 3 foot wide, maybe a little bigger. And then it has wings that go out from that are about 15 foot. 7.5 on each side, 7 foot wings, and one in the back's the same. The one in the front's a little smaller.
Okay, cool.
I'll have it.
You're good. I just wanted to get a real,
It kind of has a cockpit area. You know what I mean? Where you sit down and one person sits one way, one person sits the other way. So as any spell jamming vessel goes, you can go all the way around it, and its center of gravity is going to be in the very center of the vessel. So you can stand on the bottom of it.
and be okay.
Yeah. Or you could, wrap your legs around it like a horse. At any location on it,
Right.
except for the sides, where you would be kind of in between balanced area. So yeah, you've got 2 hours till you need to do that. You bring the ship down, Lily, or as you connect with it, bring the ship down into the docks at the bottom down there.
Okay.
That's so cool.
Down at the bottom, the docks are not set to where there's any tubes or anything attached to them or anything like there was on the top. And there's room to go, to choose exactly where you guys want to dock the ship.
Just do it right across from where we're staying, I suppose. Do we have to tie the ship off or anything like that?
So, no, not with the Spelljammer. You can just,
Okay.
it'll float wherever you want it to set. If somebody's manning it. If no one's manning it, then yes, it has to somehow have some way to do that. This vessel has been outfitted, that he told you that it had been outfitted to where it can land either on land or water. And he told you most tradesmen don't do that. So the bottom of the ship has been built with extra plating and things for landing gear to land on solid ground like land. But it's in the shape of a ship, so it also can float.
Okay.
And so the dock is probably the only dock available down here is right here.
All right.
Under the
yeah.
bridge, next to this other tradesman. It's identical to this one, except yours is red.
Nice.
With gold and that metal, that chromy metal. So yeah,
Yeah,
done
so
deal.
we'll
It
just park right
takes
there.
quite a while. By the time you guys get there and all this stuff's done, you probably want to head back.
Yeah.
Or go somewhere with the silence, wherever you want to go. You can do it on the ship here if you want to.
You guys want to do it here? Go back to the room.
Here's fine. So you can go to the States room where everybody can gather,
Yeah.
next to the galley where you guys can just hang out.
Let's do that.
So you're watching, you're keeping track of the time and
It's not
everything.
my wrist, but yeah.
Yeah, so wherever it's at, you keep track of the
It's
time.
on chain.
But so as a DM, I made a mistake. So it's 30-hour days, and every 10 hours this goes off. I think on the first episode, part 1 or 2, I said that it was 12 hours.
Yes.
So I want to make a point that it's every 10 hours, 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night.
Okay.
And that's how it's divided, morning, noon, and night. 30 hours, 10
Right,
hours.
how you know what time of day it is, and this is going into night.
Correct. But nothing changes outside, like the stars,
Right.
none of the
It's just
lighting.
so you can keep track of time.
Yeah. So by the time you get done, you guys get in the galley, you can put that up and everybody gather together. They says, I'm going to put up my magic resistance. Anyway, no disrespect for your spell or anything.
No,
And I
it's a good
suggest,
idea,
and I
Ray.
suggest we all do the same.
Ray will do it too.
So you do it. So you go through the time. You know that if you wait about 5 minutes, it'll be gone. A little over 5 minutes. So you wait. Take it down, and then no effect. didn't bother you, was you didn't hear it, nothing happened, you're good.
Seems like that works.
Yeah.
Yay! Now you know how to do that. How many times can you do that?
It is 3 times a day, 15-foot radius.
So that's like perfect. It's like
How long you had that planned?
How long have I had that planned? I don't know. She got that magic item a long time ago, and it's transferred hands.
It was
It
actually
has eras, right? Or
No,
zero?
It was. Hold on.
The Watch of Darkness, right?
No, it was Eris. It was a gift from Eris to Lily that she had. No, from Zira to Lily that she had made at the Temple of Nera.
And then Lily loaned it to Tuffy for a while.
Correct.
And then was like, hey,
Can I have that
can I
back?
have my
And
damn
Tuffy's
watch
like,
back?
Tuffy's like, yeah, it was never something I really wanted to use. You know, he used it as with your party so he could move silently.
Right. Because he was so damn
Yeah,
loud.
because it's so loud, you know.
Full plate.
Yeah, there's no need for that now.
Nice.
The plate that they make now, Nera makes now, is silent, so the padding and all the
There was
magical
something
stuff.
else that it did that I'm having a hard time finding it in my book.
The watch
Yeah.
it kept time.
It did.
Kept time, yeah, which was a big deal. You know, back then. you were-
Back then, it was a
Yeah,
huge deal.
it's a huge
There
deal
was
back
all
then.
the
It's
time
nothing-
stuff going on.
Yeah.
Which is cool. She got it.
Vay says, can we go early? Just check the place out. We don't know what we're walking in on, and if we come in right when they say, then.
Right. Eris would say, yeah, I think that's a good
And should
idea.
we all go, or should it just be a few of us in case the others, others could stay out, getting ready to come in to help us if we need it, or should we all go?
Ready to look at Taylor and be like, what do you think?
Maybe go in separate groups so it doesn't look like we're together.
Hey, that's a good idea. Like we were talking about before.
Yeah. How we came into the city separately.
Okay. Yeah.
Same groups. I mean, Millie's gonna know who we all are.
She is. Not all of us.
No.
Lily, Myra, Tuffy, Val, and Gorgain weren't with us when we went to meet her. Right?
So,
Is that right?
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Zebelia, Ray, Vay, Gordon, Zero,
Eris.
Era's Braid. Is that it? That's quite a big group going
It is.
together. I don't think we should all. I don't know. We
She
could.
said only bring 3 people.
She
right?
said only bring 3. Yeah.
Well, she seemed to like me, Eris would say, so I should probably go. She did say I was the adult. She's, kind of giggle.
Vay rolls.
Brownies are funny, man.
Lily and Gordon will go
Alright.
in Era's.
Yeah. I like
The
it.
rest will stay outside, and if we need to come in, we will. So, you guys head that way. I'm going to show you the city map again of Heart's Faith as you travel from the docks right here from Noah's shipyard. You have to go all the way down the merchant dock and turn there before Memory Docks and head this way back up by the Grapevine and Ranger's Rest and to this location right there called Four Corners. It's just south of a place called the Citadel of the Golden Cavalier, just north of the Pegasus Rest Stables, but on this road. The 3 of you come up to the door. Gordon will open it, and step in. Everybody else kind of is hanging out outside. I just need to know kind of where you're hanging out outside, if that makes sense. So there's a bunch of flowers between Ranger's Rest and
Ray will go sit over there with her unicorn.
okay. Nixie, all right. Nixie sits down with you in the grass. It's really beautiful right there. See a butterfly, you know, over in that area, kind of behind you a little bit. So, everybody else, when they see you do that, they'll kind of do the same. They'll just all kind of sit around like a bunch of hippies in the grass. NPCs anyway.
Belly too.
Mouses, I suppose we'll know if something happens. The telepathy gives, right?
Right? Yeah, I guess so.
Right. You guys walk in. Four Corners looks like this. It's a tavern, bar. The center of it has a big open dome shape that goes up 4 stories, but there's nothing there. It's just blank space with windows at the top that's shining light down in different locations. You see a square bar in the center right here, with a staircase right there that goes up, a spiral staircase made of metal that goes up to the next floor, which is got a plank that goes over in this direction. And you can see that even though there's a big circle here, this area over here to the east and to the west and to the north and south could have storage or have something up there. And you can see what looks like a walkway up there. Then this spiral staircase in this opposite side does the same. It goes up too. Music is coming from nowhere. When you walk in, you don't see any bards or you just hear music playing. And in our modern day, I can tell you what it sounds like. I can tell you what it is, but you've never heard it before. It's jazz. You hear jazz playing in here. As you walk in, you've never heard this kind of music before. Over here to your immediate left, you notice Millie. And she's sitting on the table. She's kind of sitting on the table. The place is packed. There are people everywhere. And as you look around, you know, some of them are angelic beings, elves, dwarves, gnomes, humans, like you would see in any tavern on the Prime that's in a mixed coagulated area. Nothing strange like half orcs, but supernatural looking beings that eyes are different colors. There's a being over there that has the head of a bull, like a minotaur, dressed in really nice white robes, and he has 2 little golden beads that are floating around his head and spinning too, like
iron stones.
like iron stones, but they're visible and you can see them. His horn, the one that on the right side, the left side horn is broke off at the very tip, but has had some kind of metal replace it and attached to the end of his horn. His right one, it looks like it's been pierced, the horn at the tip, and has a little cube that's dangling down, that's black in color with gold on it, just dangling. Somebody turns his head, this cube is like this, dangling from his horn. And various other kinds of winged, wide-eyed beings. Some of them could be archons, or moreover, I should say, some could be angels and angelic or celestial beings. None of them are archons, or they would be much taller, look much different. The beast with the minotaur-like head doesn't have wings. So,
White eyes like Era's white eyes?
Yeah.
Or white eyes like.
well, white eyes like there's white energy in their head going, like it's glowing. Or, some turn towards you, from the shadows, and their eyes. Gordon turns and kind of looks to the table for you guys to go. Lily and Eris. You guys walk up and sit down.
Yeah.
Okay. She hops from the main table over to that side table between the two couches. You guys come and sit one on each side or together on the same couch. Which couch? They'll
That
sit.
one. I'll sit on that one.
I'm
Okay.
gonna sit on this couch. Yeah.
Okay.
Right there.
All right. They will sit back here over with Villia.
Lily.
Or, I mean, Gordon. Wait a second. My bad. My bad. In my mind's eye, Gordon was one doing this meeting for some reason. It was Gordon, or they was. It's Gordon. Gordon will sit next to Eris on this side right here. And Millie says, "You made it.
We did it.
What you got?"
She'll pull the lighter.
What's this? And she takes it from you.
She'll show her how to use it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to her.
She takes it and you see she can use it. It's small enough. And she says, "Perfect. Wonderful." She kind of tucks in her belt, jumps over and lands on the table in front of you. And she says, "I'll get you guys some drinks. Make introductions." And she jumps down onto the floor, walks over to the bar. You're still hearing the music.
She would tell Eris would telepathy them and be like, "Be careful about drinking anything."
Gordon nods at you. She goes over to the bar somewhere. A few moments later, you see Harrison Littleberg, who happened to be a gentleman you met in Ashentail on the Prime, whose space vessel crashed when you first came across a tradesman. And you see him.
Exploded.
Yeah, you see him and he's walking and he stops and he looks down like behind the bar. You know he's probably looking at Millie. He's saying something and
She's got her eyes on him.
and she points and he's like kind of argues with her, and then behind him you see this creature that you've seen before. And he's a monkey, but his skin is attached from his hands down to his ankles, like he's a flying monkey type.
Yeah.
He's dressed to the nines, and he has some kind of weapon in front of him. It's like a pistol. It's a boomstick. You don't know what it is. It's something in his.
That was a
in his
different
waist.
campaign.
Yeah, it's something in his waist.
Forgot all
I did
about
too.
that.
And he says something to her, and then he goes over there, and he looks kind of your direction, and he sees you, and he's like,
She smiles when he looks.
he looks back at Millie, and he says something to her, and then he kind of turns and walks over, and the monkey guy comes with him. He comes with him over, and he slides in and sits down. He's like, "Well, my oh my, I did not expect to see you here. Thought it was heavenly enough. Am I right, Griffin?" He says, and you see the monkey kind of smile at you guys. He's like, "Huh?" He's like, "See, he thinks you're pretty."
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, how you doing?
"I'm doing good, thanks to you all." About that point, the brownie comes with a couple of drinks and jumps up onto the bar and sets them down, and they look rather big with large amounts of alcohol in each of them. There's two of them. And she sits down and slides one over to him and takes the other one for herself. You're not sure why she didn't bring you drinks. She said she was going to, but she doesn't bring you drinks. Gordon kind of looks at it, kind of strange for a second, and then and she says, "Chevy Harrison, may I introduce you to," and you see his face kind of go, "Oh shit." Because you guys know him as
Littleberg.
Harrison Littleberg.
Yeah.
She calls him Chevy Harrison. And he kind of looks worried for a second, and then she says, "May I introduce to you the individual's looking for a smuggler." And she smiles at you all and takes your drink and hops down,
Nice
goes
to
off.
meet you, Chevy Harrison. She'll smile.
And goes like that. What do you do?
Knew that wasn't your real fucking name. Told you guys, didn't I?
You did.
I told you.
Just call me Chevy. Mrs. Griffin. The monkey looks at you again and nods. Says, partner in crime. So what are you looking to smuggle? What exactly is going on? Gordon says, well, we're legal merchants of the heavens now. We want to do some things. And he kind of looks at him surprised, like, what the? I'm not going to ask, he says. That's quite the accomplishment. I didn't even know that was still possible. You're a merchant of Unia? This merchant's been set in place for a long time. Commend you. What do you want me to smuggle? And he kind of leans back. Well, we don't exactly know yet. But I'm sure there's things to smuggle. He kind of looks at him for a second, at Gordon for a second, then looks back at you guys. He's like, of course, the price is right. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to become a loyal employee. He just smiles at you. I mean, of course, we like the more lucrative jobs that don't involve too much action, but we can take some action, right, buddy? He looks at him and Griffin nods.
If she were to telepathy with two of them and we'd be like, there was that stuff, the nectar of the gods, right? That. But what else?
So,
Is that it?
I guess that can't be taken out of heaven, right? Gordon says. That's the law, right? So. Gordon says, multiple tons of the nectar. He says under his voice, multiple tons of the nectar. You see him kind of stop for a minute and he raises an eyebrow. And goes, ah. The radiant wing would certainly be upset to come across that kind of cargo. Gordon's like, yeah? Yeah. If I got boarded, it wouldn't look good. That's a serious offense, which Gordon goes, well, if you don't want to do it, he goes, oh, no, I'm not saying that. He leans forward again, and he's like, right, Griffin, don't be so jumpy. We'd be happy to help for the right price. He's like, well, exactly how much? 20 tons, Gordon says. He goes, oh, I'd nearly fill it up. We could do 25 if you want to make it an even 500,000 for the trip. It's to the prime, right? He said, yes. 500K and I'll get it done for you. Gordon just kind of looks over at you two. He looks back. He says, "Okay, we'll talk to the rest of the company and make sure that's something we want to do, and we'll let you know." Well, dock number 2, Noah's warehouse.
I already saw it.
He looks over at you. She looks good, doesn't she?
She's pretty. Much better than the last time we saw her, for sure.
Yeah, it took me a while to get her back. Anyway, so that's where I'll be, and I'll wait for you until, morning. Let me know. He kind of goes like that. He goes, "Get out of my way, fucking carpet." You see me. Monkey gets out his way, and they stand up, and they kind of wander back into the bar a little bit.
Nice.
Gordon looks at you guys. Let's go.
Let's go.
He stands up. You guys walk out. Seems to be no problem.
That was almost too easy. Guess how that hero stuff pays off sometimes, right?
Right?
Yeah,
Wasn't it easy?
we saved him.
We did. We saved his ass, and it wasn't easy either. if
No.
You guys remember?
But to see him in heaven, now that's strange, Gordon says to
It
you.
is strange, isn't it? What is he doing here? How did he get in?
Huh?
How did he get in? Spell it.
Now that's some things we could talk to him about. I bet he's not regulated.
I promise she's not. There's no way.
We'll meet him at the dock with our vessel, have him. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best thing to do as long as the others agree. Our goal is still to find a particular individual.
Yeah.
Maybe he has some information.
He might. Talk to him about it. That's quite the thing.
Let's meet up with everybody and get it taken care of. So you guys all come from the grass there and meet up, and then you guys all go back to your ship. I would suppose you don't really need rooms now. You really
don't.
stay on your ship
Yeah.
in the dock,
Back to the ship.
which makes you realize some people might do that. But you see, when you come back to the dock and you come out of this and you finally get back to the dock area right there, there is a very, very large black vessel, a barge more like, that goes where it says Merchant's Dock, that length right there on the map.
Yeah.
That's the length of the vessel, and it's parked right there at that dock.
Oh goodness.
So it's probably 250 feet long, 300 feet long, somewhere near that. It's really long.
Huge.
It's floating above the water, probably 30 feet wide. So it's an elongated ship.
Like a submarine.
So like it would take a while for it to turn. No, it looks just like a ship. Looks like a skiff, like a
Gotcha.
barge.
Gotcha.
It looks just like a modern day ship, but it's made of metals. It wouldn't float, you don't think, and it's levitating in the air right off of the ground of the water there. Let's see.
Okay.
The vessel has these red flags that are flying. They're in the form of an X. It has black. The X is black with white around the outside of the X, and the background is red. So the majority of it is red, but it's a black X on a red background.
Legends and lore on that symbol.
Okay. No. Goodness.
From 89.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Try.
As you guys get closer to the dock and start to go actually down the dock, you can see that it has a walkway that goes from the ship down to the dock, and you can look up on it where the hole is, where that happens, and you see a guard standing there. You're not sure who else is on board because that's really the only angle you can see.
Mm-hmm.
This individual looks Egyptian, and the helm is in the form of a hawk, and he's just standing there with his back to the walkway, just standing next to the opening there. Some sort of spear-like weapon in his hand. As you go walking by and you get to the hole, if you're going to keep looking, when you get to the next spot, you see the other guard on the other side. But it's too high for you to see people
Right.
where that entrance is. So that's what happens. There are railings at the top of that, but you think those railings are not used to like be standing there looking over the railing. They're like offset from the vessel itself a little bit. They look strange, like more like it's an aesthetic.
Got you. Okay.
Very angular features on the barge, aerodynamic. You guys go walking past. When you get to the front of the vessel, roll an observation.
Everybody?
Yeah, if you have the proficiency.
Ares did not make it. Zero and Ray did.
For those of you that make it, the figurehead on the front of the ship is what looks like a dwarf with a bald head, and his eyes have been painted to where it looks like stars in his eyes, and he's on the front of the vessel.
Question.
Yeah.
Is Zira religion?
Okay, roll a religion proficiency.
I know what it is.
Do ya?
I do.
Well,
No, not even close. Neither does she. She doesn't know. Oh, Ray has religion. Can I roll
okay.
yours too?
Yeah.
10 under 20.
Ray, when she was in school, she remember studying the Egyptian pantheon, the Egyptian gods and goddesses, and she knows all about them. She looks back and she sees what would only be best described as Ptah, the creator of the universe. It's an Egyptian sect of religion that you know about.
Nice.
And that's his form, his image. Egyptians' pantheon believes that he created everything.
Cool. Nice.
It's black, which stands the fuck out in the
Here.
city. If anything's black, it's very noticeable. Oh, you walk past it. It's really tall. You know, it's like this big structure of this vessel, and you go past it. Then you come into Noah's, and on the deck of the ship across the way, you could see Chevy, Harrison, and Griffin. They're on the deck, just kind of sitting on the deck doing some stuff, and you see your ship right next to theirs, Sun Chaser. And you head over there,
Yeah.
go across the bridge, get to the other side.
Ray with telepathy. So I realized that I have a bunch of black root in my bag. And I don't think it affects us anymore, so I was wondering if I should just eat it to get rid of it. What do you think? I didn't know that it was illegal when we came here, when we left. We got here and no customs told me. I just don't want to get stopped with it on me. And then I've got a whole ounce of black root infused wolfsbane, which I really don't know what to do with. Just hold on to it. Sell it when we get back home. All right. Okay.
I don't think we have anything to worry about with everybody that we're with.
Right.
Like it seems like everybody is really smart and got their shit together, and
Okay.
it feels like there's not much of a chance of us getting caught unless somebody does something really stupid.
Right. Okay.
Now, if you get in trouble with it, it's going to be my fault. That's not cool.
I gave my advice, and I'm quite aware. Who the fuck you gonna blame
Yeah.
if
you get,
you
in trouble
get busted for that?
If you get in trouble for it, it'll be really my fault.
Funny.
I have so many herbs on me, I can't tell you.
We just keep doing what we're doing. We'll be fine.
I think we're fine. Alright.
So
I'm
you go to,
sorry.
you guys go to the dock that where your ship is at. You come across the bridge. You can either go to the dock that's between the two of you guys, which you probably would.
Mhm.
Go there. That's where you disembarked anyway. So yeah, we'll say that. So this location right here is where between those two. Your ship is under the bridge right here.
Yeah. Walk over there.
Okay. They come to the edge, you know, or Chevy does. Chevy Harrison.
Greetings.
they would ask you guys what happened.
On our walk back.
Yeah, on your walk back.
Yeah.
What happened?
Tell him, give him the lowdown. What was it, 500,000 for
Mm-hmm.
25 tons?
He's fine with that. He's like, that's perfect. That's cheap. That's more cheaper than I thought.
Yeah, we rescued this guy actually
Oh yeah?
a while back, so we know him kinda.
Trusted. He's a smuggler. I would
He
expect you
is,
know.
he is.
So,
Well, and he always lied to us about his name, and there's just some history.
oh,
Anyway.
what did he say his name was?
Littleburg?
Littleburg.
Yeah, like the town.
Ah. Okay. What's his real name?
Chevy.
Harrison? Supposedly.
Yeah, right.
Chevy Harrison is. There's got to be. It's got to be Easter. There's got to be an egg somewhere. Anyway.
Oh, I know exactly who this guy is.
For real.
See, there's Chevy, and then there's Ford. There's Harrison.
How could you not get it?
I don't know. No real characters or real people were involved in the taping of this.
Right.
Yeah, so they says that he needs to have it delivered. He knows what to do.
Yeah.
He knows where to buy it, right? Per bottle, you know what I mean? So he needs to go to the bartender of that place and find out where he buys it from.
There you go.
That's right. So he needs to go there. He brokers this deal with this guy, with Harrison, with Chevy Harrison, and with Griffin, and gets them taken care of, and then tells them to prepare for the cargo and everything. And then he asks if anybody wants to go with him. He says, "I don't know how quickly this will go or how long this will take."
Ray's gonna take the time to talk with Nixie. She'll stay.
Okay.
I
He'll.
I'll go with you. Bailey will go.
Oh.
We can't go by ourselves.
I'm going, man.
Who's gonna go with
She's
her?
gonna go with her if she goes. That's fine.
Gordon looks at her and she goes, "Why don't you go with him?
Okay.
There you go.
Could help,
Alright, I'll go.
especially how you look." So you go
You're welcome, by the way. She'll wink at me.
to Gordon.
Yeah.
He smiles.
She'll go.
So Bailey and Ray can stay there if they want.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So Eras and Dago, you guys go back to the inn, to the tavern, and Saint's Tavern and Inn, and the bartender's there, of course, and Day will go up to the bar and
Go over
he
there.
starts asking questions about where he gets the liquor, like he did before. He mentions to him that he'd like to buy a lot more. He tells him how to get in touch with the person that sells it.
Nice.
And of course, it seems like you help by just being there, Eras. But you get it processed at Angel Food, and you buy it at Bobbles, which is right here on the docks of Merchant Stock.
Okay.
Vay's like, "Let's just go over there."
Yeah.
It's right here. We're going to bottles.
Yeah, let's do it.
And he goes in. You guys go in.
Before we walk in, she's gonna pull out some of the oil that she got.
Okay.
She's gonna put it on.
Nice. Nice. Okay.
That charisma oil, as you called it.
Okay. As soon as you walk in, to your right and to your left are these Egyptian guards who turn towards you, and then you see several of them in this entryway here, and a bunch of them come and move and surround somebody. And you can't really tell. It looked like somebody that was robed, and that's all you could really tell. Very kind of delicate looking, actually. And they surround her, these guards, where you can't see with their armor and their huge headdresses that they're wearing of different animals of different types, and hold their spears up. And you get you and Bailey. Pardon us, please, forgive. And then in front of these individuals is what I can only describe to you as a what looks like a bipedal lizard with an elongated neck, almost to a snake-like neck, standing behind the counter. And it actually has a snake tongue that comes out and goes in.
I just remembered my snake too.
And-
She's bitten.
And the wings, you will see, kind of look like angelic wings as they come up behind you. And it looks over at you for a second and then goes. And then you see a bipedal hand, like a clawed hand go. You hear, "One moment." And looks back at whoever this is that's being surrounded. And
Is it like they're protecting this individual, or is it like they're going after this individual?
it's like they're protecting this individual from anything. You and
Right,
Bay,
right,
most
okay.
importantly, because you walked in.
Right.
But it's also from being seen.
Gotcha.
You can tell
That's
that
kind of what I thought.
what they're doing is not allowing you to see who it is.
That person's not supposed to be seen.
Yeah, it's the feeling of it.
It's weird.
And whatever this thing is that's behind the desk is seen, the being. Our business here is done, is it not? You hear no reply. Very well, thank you once again. And then you see the guards kind of move and surround whoever this individual is and then start moving towards you. The guards next to you kind of look at you and you see them
we'll step-
pull their weapons
step
like
out
to
of the
move
way.
you out of the way almost.
I'll step out of the way.
Okay. All right, you move out of the way, and Vay kind of stops for a minute, and the thing kind of looks at him and turns its head a little bit, and Vay goes, "Oh no, oh I'm sorry." He goes, "I'm sorry," and kind of plays it off like that and moves. You see it stand between you and them, and then this group goes out the door, and as they come, they shield whatever this is from your visual, from your vision.
She'll tell that to you and be like, what the fuck was that?
Fuck if I know. And then they all go out. Door closes.
How strange.
Wow. So, we are new merchants and I'm here to purchase around 25 tons of the Nectar of Gods. We have a party. It's going to be happening on the north side of the island for some of the younglings. And we're going to need as much of it as possible. Of course, some of the folks want to keep it in their homes, the parents and all, but it's good. So what would be the price of that? License. Oh, yes. See him pull out this scroll and hand it to it, and it grabs it and looks at it and hands it back to him and goes with some kind of stamp-like thing, and then hands it over to him. Payments. It's 22.5 million gold. And he's like, very well. And you see him pick up that bag and start pulling it out and just kind of looks over at you. He starts pulling gold out of this bag.
She'll telepathy him and be like, it's one of those bags, isn't it?
He just kind of looks at you and smiles a little bit.
Those ones.
And he starts pulling it out, and this thing starts counting it with telekinesis. Really quick. And gets it all added up and everything, and then asks for Vay, while it's doing that, to fill out the delivery instructions and so on and so forth. And Vay does. The dock you guys are at and everything. He telepathies to you as he's doing this. He's like, please don't tell everyone, though I suspect that some of them are starting to catch on.
Yeah, I won't.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
That's one of those bags, though, isn't it?
Yes.
One of those ones that continues to produce wealth.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of those before. That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah. It's been useful.
I'm sure it has.
You're broke now?
I wouldn't say that.
You know, for me, it's not really about money. Like, I was pretty rich before that, but you have no idea how long that money's been sitting there. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't need it for anything. Does that make sense?
It does.
Like, I don't.
It does. I feel the same way. He says. I feel the same way about it all.
I don't eat.
Cool.
I don't sleep. And anything I really need, like, my clout can get me. Not to, like, have a big ego, but in Mirabilia,
I get it.
it's true. Like,
I
don't
understand. Hell yeah, I feel the same
Really,
way.
it's not necessary.
I feel the same way, he says. Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Fucking
nice when you
cool.
know shit like this, but it's not. At home, it's not necessary. That's cool. Yeah.
All right, so we'll see you within the hour, he says, and the thing says, yes, it should be there within the hour. Thank you for your business. I believe we are through. He nods. And he nods. He gets the paperwork and everything, and you guys leave. Meanwhile, back on the ship, talking with Harrison and them, you see Harrison move over, and you can tell Griffin is very good on the vessel. Like, he jumps around, grabs things. He's using the gravity of the ship in weird ways, where he jumps around the ship and comes up around onto the other side and lands on the deck to grab something on that side. He's amazing. Yeah. And they get it ready for that. They bring out this crane-like device that looks like it'll pick it up and put it on the ship and on that. When that starts happening, Gordon will start using the crane in your ship. Like he's watching how they use theirs and learning how to use the crane on the ship. He's like trying to see how it works, and he pulls it over like to load things from the dock. And you guys get done with that and get done with the Patah guys, and you come out. As soon as you come out, you see the vessel moving like quickly, like they boarded and then left. It just starts to float very slowly out into the bay, and then starts to go out.
Okay.
It takes it quite a while to turn. You can tell that the turning of this takes forever. And so by the time you make it to Noah's, it's already turned and you can go up the elevator and everything. Meanwhile, back on the ship and all that stuff that's going on the ship, Gordon starts asking questions to Harrison, and he comes down. He comes on your vessel and he starts asking which one is the regulator, how these work. And he's like, I can set you up with all this. And he starts to talk about it, and he says, I got a lot of extra spare parts for this vessel.
Well, he's
Over on the Rev Hawk 1000, he says.
While
Rev Hawk
Gordon's
1000.
doing that, I'm gonna be listening to what they're talking about as Zira.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go get the star
charts
Okay.
and start reading them. Try to learn them.
You're right next to them when you do that, so you can listen to them. But you pull the star charts out, look at them, start to look on. 25 intelligence, right? Give me a roll. Do you have navigation or anything like that?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Tracking.
Yeah.
That was the best roll I could have gotten. Yeah.
You crit it.
Yes, I did.
All right. When you turn and look at it, it's like you've read them before. You are natural. You see the keys, you see where they're at, you see the symbols and how they're located. You understand the three-dimensional space that's involved with the maps and how they go to the next one. It clicks, and you start pouring over them. After the third one, you find where you're at. You know right where you're at. You like look at the map, and you know Lunia, and it shows space, heaven's space. And heaven's space, you realize, is circular, but it's a flat disc. And it's only, this star chart that you're looking at right here is only the first level or first plane of heaven. And it goes up. By looking at the star charts, you realize that the second plane of heaven is probably 3,000 miles above the first plane of heaven. It's not up a little staircase and the dink, you're there.
It's 3,000.
It's 3,000 miles up. You know it's connected somehow. So the space itself continues to go up in other flat disks.
Okay.
But you know, according to this star chart that you're looking at here is Lunia space. And then it goes, they also call it the silver space. And as each one goes up, it changes to the platinum space, electrum space, you know, it just keeps going up.
So does it say on here where the, so does it say on here where the entrance to the
Yeah.
prime is?
Yeah, you
What
look,
about entrances to the second plane?
you look and you see that the celestial beacons are labeled with symbolism, and there's a key within these star charts, and you find the key and you can locate it and look. You find Ashentail right away and how far away it is. It's you know, minutes, probably 15 minutes from your current location is where Ashentail Gate is. You pick it up immediately, but in the process of doing this, you realize that there are gates that go to other prime material planes, and you see some of their names. So when I created the star charts and I showed you, or the solar system and I showed you, there are other solar systems that are not just the 8 planets that you guys exist on.
Yeah.
As you go off in space, there are other ones with, like, all over the place inside of this crystal sphere, that the prime material plane is not just one planet that you're on, but a number of planets that are within this crystal sphere. Yours is called Ashentail, and there are other names for others as well. And then beyond that vast amount of space, you through these star charts, you realize that you're inside of a huge sphere, and they call it the crystal sphere. And that to break through the crystal sphere, you enter an area called the phlostogen. And inside that phlostogen are other crystal spheres that have a multitude of worlds and a multitude of spaces. And your mind just kind of absorbs and expands in the matter of minutes of looking at these charts. You realize how tiny you are and how tiny all of this is. Even the destruction of this world could seem tiny by looking at this. Not that you want that.
Right,
the
but
destruction
in
of measurement.
comparison,
In comparison
to the vastness
of
the
space and
cosmos.
the cosmos and prime material, you realize this crystal sphere has more than one. Numerous. That's what you're doing. I will say at the end of the time that it takes you for them to come back, you are a master reader of charts. Like, you critted on it, so I'm going to give you a natural space navigation proficiency that you can roll under your intelligence to gain access to. Simply because you have these charts. If you want to, you can try to memorize them with your wisdom and see if
I will.
You don't need them anymore.
My wisdom's not great.
Okay, make a wisdom check.
1 under what I needed.
Okay, you're able to memorize them, so now you have a natural proficiency. Go ahead and write it down. It's going to be space navigation.
Under intelligence?
Yeah, and chart reading. Yeah, yeah. Question: do you have any intelligence languages that were not filled?
17.
Mark one off. She's smart.
Yes.
The only reason that happened. So, and the crit. Fuck. Nice crit.
I know, that
Nice.
was perfect.
Perfect timing. While she's doing this, do you want to, Lily or Valia, you want to do anything?
Yeah, Lily.
And Gordon's doing what he's doing, and Vay and them are doing what they're doing.
Lily is going to take Myra and go to. Hold on. I can't see. Yeah, Holy Flame, that one.
Holy
Bag
Flame?
holding place.
Yeah, and I'll tell everybody, hey, I'm gonna run over here to this place and get in my bag of holding. I'm gonna get my helm and a few other things out.
They nod. Would anybody want you to get anything else out?
Kara's wood, but she's not
Mm.
Well, she's slapping this to everybody.
Is she?
Yeah.
Ares would be like, dude, if you want to come grab my songbook, I guess I'll. How far into it are we? Over there?
Into that?
Yeah.
You're still in the middle of it, basically. You're right now you're standing at that desk right there and talking to the creature.
I do, but it's fine. We're busy. My songbook is in my bag of holding. It's fine.
Well, once I get into mine, I should be able to like help pay for shit at least, you know.
You would see Angel Foods, some workers come out with these pallets that are levitating, these discs loaded down with crates of bottled liquid, and they start coming towards you guys. So what, Lily, you wanted to go to that, so you walk past them. If you go that way, you'll walk past them and see. There's like 10 of them right now carrying it. And as you walk past the Angel Food, you see the warehouse door open, and there's 10 others sitting there stacked up and ready. And you head down, you go down past the Merchants of Heaven, realizing that you actually are a merchant of heaven now. It kind of blows your mind. Myra says something about you. We're fucking merchants in heaven. What the? How the hell?
Right.
Who is that lady? Or that man? Sorry. That pretty boy with the wings and Gideon.
I think that Gordon's mom sent him.
Snap.
Solinar, right? House of Solinar.
Oh, yeah, I guess that would be.
All the elves.
Well, I thought it was Denamora was their house name.
Right, but Solinar is their god.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's just a guess. I don't know for sure, but that's
No,
my best guess.
Fucking makes sense to me. Man, it's good to have connections, I guess.
Right.
You guys come around the Merchants Heaven onto the Golden Road here, the gold, solid gold. You realize you've kind of become used to it since you've been here a little bit. You don't really notice it, and then when you round that corner and you look up that way to the north, and it all glitters with gold, you're kind of like, oh yeah.
Lily's like, oh yeah.
Standing on fucking
When I
gold.
first got here, I was trying to think of how I could take it.
Yeah. You walk up the Holy Flame, and it looks like a Roman bathhouse, and in the center of it is this blue flame burning. There's pillars in a circle around it, and there's a pool on the outside of that. And these pillars that are circling around, some of them have archways in them, and there's a man standing there in sandals with a plain 6-foot bow staff or just staff, nothing on top of it. Dressed in the blue robe, light blue robes with dark blue trim. and his eyes are blue, and you walk up and he's like, "Greetings, welcome to Holy Flame.
Greetings. Thank you.
How may I help you today?"
I need to get into my bag of holding. I was told that you can do that here for a price.
I can. 5,000 gold pieces worth of wealth will do it.
So how many would that be in platinum?
So 250 platinum pieces. What you got?
66.
Oh goodness, not near enough. For each bag, 5,000. You're with Myra, right?
Yeah, I
Um,
just need to get into the one bag. That's where, everything is.
She reaches into a bag that she has on her hip and pulls out this necklace that you recognize was supposed to be given to Beatrix as a housewarming gift.
Oh.
And she goes, "How will this do?" And she hands it to him, and he's like, "That will do."
Nice.
The bag.
I hand it to him.
She telepathies to you. He took that way too easy. I think I tipped him.
Yeah. that necklace was taken from royalty.
Oh. He waves his hand over the top of it, and you see a spell start to come out of his hand and go onto your bag, and your bag just kind of floats in the air, and he holds it out like that, lets go of it, and it's just floating there. And as he brings it over close to you, he says, very gently, just reach inside and get what you need. And he holds it out, and what do you do?
It's actually going to take both hands.
Okay.
But I'm going to pull out the helm.
So you reach in, and when you reach in, it's like some kind of balloon of energy, an upside down balloon of energy that you go through. When it comes through, there's a popping sound, kind of a crackling and a popping. You look at the helm, it seems to be okay, and you see him kind of raise an eyebrow.
And then I will pull out the bag. There's a bag in there that has all of my gems and platinum in it. I'll pull that out.
Okay.
And my notebook. As long as he lets me keep going back.
Yeah,
in.
he does. He just holds it there.
My notebook and my pencil and a lighter.
Okay. No straws.
Yeah, I'll pull out all 6 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I should probably stop there. She'll stop.
Okay. He says, "Are you done?"
Actually, I will grab an empty bag.
Okay.
Like a mesh bag from way back that we used to collect loot in
Okay.
back in the day.
Yeah.
I'll pull that out
Okay.
and put the helm
In that.
in that.
Okay.
So I'm not just carrying it through the city.
Yeah. He nods at you. He's like, "Are you done?"
Yes. Thank
See him kind of bring it back to himself, kind of wave his hand like this, and then he goes like that, and it just disappears, and the bag starts to fall to the ground.
you. Try to grab it.
He rolls a 20 and catches it. You want to, you realize he's, reaching for it, and he does it almost like it's the highlight of his day. Then he hands it back to you.
Take it.
He says, "Thank you so much for coming to Holy Flame. Is there anything else that you require?"
Okay, are you good?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Your hours are any time, and he's like, "Of course, there will be someone here always."
Good.
She nods and turns, starts to walk away. You go.
Yep.
All right. You
The mark that we took out.
She goes. At first, I didn't believe that he could do it, but that was pretty cool.
It was really cool, wasn't it?
Do you think he's a conjurer?
Ooh, you know what? I bet it is. I didn't think to look for any symbols or anything on them.
Holy flame, she says. Should ask around. Meanwhile, back at the docks, Harrison has gone over the whole ship. Zira, you can follow him around if you want as you're looking at the charts.
Yeah.
Talking about everything, teaching Gordon everything. Telling Gordon that we can alter this for more carrying space, and we can have hidden compartments, and he starts showing you where they're basically already at. It just takes a few minor modifications and it becomes more storage space for cargo.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's saying that, they start bringing up the stuff, and Harrison's like, "Oh, well, time to load up."
She'll start talking to them, Zero will, and she'll be like, all right, so, and she'll start pointing at it. She'll be like, we're here. This is where Ashen Tail is. And she'll start talking about
The
it.
Lonia system. He goes,
Yeah.
"You familiar?"
No, I just learned about it all. But
He kind of looks over at Gordon. Like,
then she'll start talking to Gordon about it and explaining it all to him. Like, this is where it is, and I think I can fly this thing.
"Hey, Griffin!" You hear, "Meh. Come here." Over the edge, you see this monkey like being jump and just float. Real softly land on the deck.
Oh, it's
on the
cool.
dock. He goes, "Listen to this shit. Go ahead." He looks at you kind of. You see him kind of go like this, and you realize he has some hoop earrings, and he's kind of rotating one of them, kind of looking.
I'll just keep showing him. Gordon explaining all of it to him.
He's just looking up at the monkey.
But the game
Who
said
the monkey's pretty big. I need to tell you guys. He's like 8 foot. This monkey here.
Oh goodness.
He's big. He's not little.
Yeah. She'll tell him the gate to Ashen Tail is like 15 minutes from here. It's right here. And then
Of course it is, he says.
And then she'll tell him, but the second plane, I didn't realize that it's 3,000 miles up. Like, it's not just a
Mercury, you don't want to go up there, he
quick
says.
jaunt like we
Yeah.
thought it was.
Yeah, you don't want to go up there. That
Um,
radiant wings
She'll
everywhere.
start talking about the crystal sphere to him. She'll tell him about that. She'll be like, you realize that there are other prime material planes
You're
here?
telling Gordon this?
Yeah.
He listens to everything you say.
Crystal sphere and the philosophy. And she'll just like kind of
Just puke it all up.
like excited. you
Harrison
feel
looks
me?
over at Griffin and he's like, "See? Why can't you be like that?" Griffin kind of glared at him for a minute, like, that was.
This is really cool.
Yes, it is. You were really cool.
Well, thank you.
I would hire you in a second as a navigator. Navigation is a rare thing for perfection. You know all those charts? And he points at them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. It's simple. You just gotta. And she'll start talking
so
about
you know
it.
where the Kestrel wave is. And you think about it, you're like, yeah, that's...
Yeah. She'll tell him.
He kind of crosses his arms and looks up at the monkey again. Monkey's like glaring at him. He looks at you and he's like, kind of glares at you a little bit. He's like,
Hey, man.
Right.
Hey. I
Don't
don't
hate
know.
me because I'm smart.
Right? It just clicked. I don't know what
Radiant
to say.
Guard and the Radiant Wing, the Celestial Empire, they would fucking hire you in a second. You see the monkey kind of growl. He's like, oh, it's like, just teasing, pal. Just teasing. All right, so I better get this shit loaded, he says. He's just going down. Gordon goes, so we're going to take half of it, if that's all right. And put it in the same spots that you're going to be putting it in. And you see him kind of look at Gordon for a second. He's like, okay. Almost like there's a mistrust. There's something going on.
You gotta
know?
prove your trust.
Yeah, he just kind of looks at Gordon for a second. He's like, okay. And he walks back over and he goes, come on. Fuck over here, carpet. And just, the monkey creature kind of glare at him and go back over there and jump up and start manning the cranes. And actually, he jumps up, grabs some ropes and stuff like that. And then Harrison starts managing the crane and he hooks it up and, you know, all that.
Ray wants to ask Nixie something.
Okay.
She wants to ask her, be like, hey, can you tell me any information you know about Bahamut? in reference to this area? Anything?
She tells you the Bright Lords are dangerous. Like even to her people, she tells you that when the Citadel appears, the Imperial Citadel appears in the first plane, we don't go into that Valley of Splendors anymore until it's gone.
Do you know when it appears? Like, is there a schedule?
No, she tells you it's at a whim. She's like, well, there's no known pattern. She tells you people have not been able
I just figured they're lawful, so there might be some
Strangely
sort of-
enough, you would think that there would be, but she tells you there's not, that it's so it must be circumstantial when he does it,
Right.
or something. Like something causes him to do that.
Okay.
She tells you maybe the White Tower mage would know. He lives on the beach, she tells you, and she tells you where. In the first plane.
White Tower.
Yeah, he is a being of great knowledge. He shares knowledge with those who are worthy, she says. He is not affiliated with anyone in the heavens. He never leaves his tower.
Maybe we could go talk.
He's known as the White Mage, or
Have
the
you
White
talked to him?
Tower Mage, he tells you.
Do you know him?
I don't. But I know that people go there to get questions answered, she tells you.
Okay. Alright. Talk to the others about it, see what they think.
She tells you Crystal Lake is beautiful.
Crystal Lake?
Yeah, she tells you Buddy Lee's house is up there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that area is very beautiful, and that he's very kind to them, that he leaves them things to eat.
Are you hungry?
No, she says, I had some grass earlier. She tells you she'll teleport when you go inside to anywhere or whatever, and just call her back and she'll come back.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Yeah. She'll tell Maya about the White Tower Ridge.
So she asks you if you want her on board the ship, and you could put her down in the hold, like there's room to put her, even when they put the cargo on board, if you want to, or you could have her on the deck or whatever.
Wherever you want to be, where would be best for you?
She doesn't mind going on the deck. She says that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fucking cool.
It is.
Unicorn on the deck of a ship.
It
It's
is.
pretty cool. Yeah.
She would tell Billy, she was like, so I was talking to Nixie, she was asking her questions, and she was telling me that there is a White Tower mage that might know
About what?
platinum
Uh,
that people go there to get questions answered.
What does a white tower mean?
A magic user that lives in a White Tower. She has no idea what a tower mage is. I do.
She doesn't. That makes me as a player want to run the other way.
Right.
She don't know. Mage that lives in a White Tower? You know, we talk to everybody else about it and see what they think. She was
Right.
telling me that they avoid that area in the Valley Splendor when the Citadel comes there. But
She said, right?
that they're just like harmful to her kind. She didn't really specify. And I was asking her, like, I figured because they're lawful, there would be like a schedule that they move it on, you know? And she said that there's not. That she thinks it's circumstantial. So
Is it be whenever?
yeah,
Or never?
yeah, right. She said maybe there's something that causes it to move. I don't know. But, yeah, that's what I found out from talking to her.
We should let Gordon know for sure.
Okay.
Everybody knows.
Alright. Yeah. Let's do that.
It's good information.
We'll go find him.
Okay. Lily, you come walking back.
Yep.
You're not gonna go anywhere else.
No.
So you all kind of gather. There's no one else out, right? Let's see here. Yeah, they bring you stuff. You're all loading the stuff up and everything. At Noah's shipyard.
When we get there, I'll ask Gordon if he's figured out anything with the regulators and stuff yet.
He's like, yeah.
I've got my home.
Put it on. Put it in. It's down in the hole.
Yeah.
He says, let me teach you.
Okay.
And he starts teaching you about the ship. He starts telepathy teaching you everything he can think of. He's like, Zero was here too. And he tells you about the regulator. He tells you about the anti-charger and
The anti-charter is something we want to leave in place, though.
yeah,
right?
he's like, we're gonna leave it for sure.
Because that protects any draining.
For sure. Alexandria will telepathy those that have the ring.
Eras and Gordon.
Locations of the north are being rebuilt, and other places are being turned to ash. New cities are starting to spring where the older ones were.
Who's building that?
The Bright Lord and his minions.
Really?
Yes. We are losing the war. I thought you would want to hear an update. I won't bore you with all the details, but things currently don't look good. But we do have the Chosen One and the Protector fighting the battle and in a location where it might be very profitable for us. We know that the incarnation of Bahamut on the Prime is very close to their location currently. Though we no longer have contact with them, which we suspected would happen, we have faith that they may succeed in this mission. Please tell the others.
Is it like an avatar?
It is
Or-
Bahamut.
It is Bahamut?
It is the Bahamut on Prime, the one that was born here, not the one from the heavens that you're going to kill, but an incarnation of himself here. And that is the one that normally dies.
She just realized that there was more than one.
Mm-hmm.
She did not know that.
So if if they're successful, then the war here will be done. I do not know how that would affect you there, nor do I know how it will affect us here. I'm at the point of thinking that perhaps we should bring them home and let you continue your mission.
No. Is in Velia then, right?
No, as in sin and death.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Unfortunately, we are no longer in contact with them, like I said. They become in contact with us again, and it was a quick thing that happened that enabled them to think or report that Bahamut was close. Baphomet was close, so they were going after him. How about with you? What is the update, Devin? Where are you? Gordon will say, he'll explain where you guys are as far as not knowing exactly, but knowing that there's some kind of cause, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should tell him so. Wait, no, has Ray said anything?
We were going to tell him
Okay.
right then.
All right. So you start telling him.
Yeah.
He repeats it to Alexandria.
Oh.
And she will just say, continue with your mission.
Aries will will let you know as soon as we know something.
Very well. May Nera be with you.
Goodness.
So that happens in the middle of all that. They get all the bottles loaded up.
So, I don't remember what you said. Did Zira find an entrance from like a portal from the first plane to the second plane
So
through all that?
all the planes of heaven are surrounded by stars. But to go through the barrier in the stars is not possible. There has to be celestial beacons to go from plane 1 to plane 2. And so
Right.
forth.
So it's only those
And-
locations at the tops of the mountains.
Right, and the number of those locations that go from the first plane of heaven to the second plane of heaven are in 2 hands. Unaccessible. According to the star charts, they're inaccessible because they're controlled by forces that will not allow travel, according to the Bright Lord Empire. On the second,
would
on
want
the
people-
second plane of heaven.
They would want people to think that.
Yeah. So that's where you're at. Everything gets loaded up.
Lily's gonna go down with the helmet.
So you go down, you sit inside of it and move the thing over and lock the helm down in and invoke it. Touch it and you have power and control over it. And it's fucking fast and this little thing is scary. You're like, oh shit. Like, I gotta be careful with this. You realize you have to be careful with it. You're not sure what its max speed or anything like that is, but like I said, you do know that it's only got a little bit of air
Right.
for a short amount of time.
Ray would telepathy the party and be like, have you guys ever heard of the White Tower mage that's here on the first plane?
Gordon's like, no. Huh.
Nixie told me about this guy, his name the White Tower mage, who answers questions. He might have some information about Bahamut.
Where is the tower? I guess it's on the map. He pulls the map up and looks at it.
Can I roll a Legends and Lore on White Tower mage as Eris?
Yeah.
Tower mages?
Yeah.
Exactly on.
What'd you get?
85.
No. You don't know what they are.
Damn it. Damn it.
She's missing tonight. She's been
No!
missing the Legends lore.
No, it's like 85%. She keeps missing.
Gordon
What's going
says we could take the ship
on?
and go to this tower, but
Zero would say I want to drive.
I want to check out my new ship. Lily will tell Myra to get in.
okay. You guys are down in the hold of this other ship. You both get down in it, and you're gonna take off and come out of the hold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you try to come out? Quickly or slow?
Oh no,
Just slow?
super slow. Fill it out. I know my old ship was
So its maneuverability class is A.
nice.
You can just go
Yeah. Nice.
in one round in any direction that you want to go in.
Yeah. She's a little weary because her old ship was
Yeah.
lightning fast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this it's a little sports car. It's what it is. It's a little sports car, and it's fast. You think just by sitting in it, you're like with this major helm and just 2 people and fucking 16 feet, and you realize it's probably going to be really fast. So You just fly up. What do? You're just there, or do you take it out?
Yeah, and try to go out of the ship.
Okay. Over the water there, or
Just out, up out of the ship and above where I can
so?
see everybody.
All right. So like right here, just kind of floating right here.
Mhm.
So above you, about 10, 15 feet, is a dock, a walkway up above you, where there are other ships and stuff. But yeah, you're there. You're starting to feel her out. You put that helm in, and you realize it's badass. It's badass.
Nice.
You got some levers and stuff on it that you're not sure about. On your left side, there are 2 levers that go up and down, and they're in the middle position right now. And then over on the right side, you have 2 levers that are pushed all the way up, almost close to the top. And you kind of come up. And when you come up kind of like this.
Okay.
As your mind, you could level that out if you want.
Okay.
When you do, you feel there's like a tension. It's kind of front heavy.
Because of the helm.
You're not sure what it's from. Roll into your intelligence.
Lily learned how to drive a stick shift. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, exactly on.
You look up in front, like from the seat you're sitting in to the front of the ship, and you see it's got these little wings on it, and they're turned like this, almost straight up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the ones next to you, and they're turned slightly down, not a lot, just a little bit.
So sharper.
You know.
The ones on the right that are almost all the way up.
Yeah.
On one of them, I'll gently
Pull it back. You see the front fin start to straighten out to where it's straightened out, and when it does that, it kind of goes,
Do the other one.
and it just levitates smooth and straight now. When you pull them back, you pull them to the middle, like when they're at the middle position is when it completely balances out. So you can deduct that this at least will make it to where you can go forward or up if you pull these levers. If you pull the right lever, you think you're gonna go, like pull the right lever towards you, you think you're gonna go up, but you're gonna spin because one is the opposite of the other.
Okay.
So this thing is built to be able to maneuver with not only movability class A, but do spins and do loops and whatever else. You're not sure what these are, but they're in the middle right now
Right.
as well.
I'll gently move the one closest up just a little.
You see the back left or the back right of your vessel start to sag down.
Pull it back down. Do the other one just a little up.
It goes up. The left back goes up.
Okay.
So that's how they work. This one controls the back and this one controls the front. And you're thinking that if you did something like went way down and then way down, that it would probably drop the ship downward with least resistance. And the opposite, way up. Or 1 and 1 would make it spin this way or spin that way. You basically got a jet fighter that you're
Right.
sitting in right now.
Right, which is different because she's used to being able to control it all.
Well, you can control it all with your mind, but you realize the way the ship is built, if you use these engineered devices, it'll make it even that much quicker, meaning that the turn, you might even, since it's maneuverability class A, you could go like this in one round and turn around. If you use one of these, you might be able to turn more than just one around,
Ha.
or whatever, or less, or go up, down. It's just really maneuverable. Okay.
Awesome.
So you're just levitating there. Myra's like, wow.
Go for a spin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go kill us, she
No.
says.
We'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Okay.
Zira's gonna go to Bahamut, so you know before anybody else
It's
can.
a shame.
Okay.
I'll gently come out of the dock area.
Go under the bridge.
Yeah.
How high off the water?
Go out into the bay.
Just a few feet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you start riding out into the bay area, and
So we're, I know I got a lot of questions, I'm sorry. So we're essentially outside except for we're sitting in this vessel. We're not covered like we would be in a normal vessel, correct?
no, you're not.
Yeah. So
It's
we're
a cockpit
open.
with no top.
But when I
It's a
take
convertible
off
sports car.
the atmosphere.
It has straps to latch you in
Mhm.
and things like that, but no. So you whip out.
Yeah, we'll take it out.
Okay, how far out do you go? I mean, how fast are you going? How far do you know?
I'm gonna get clear of everything first.
Like what you think is out of the bay and actually starting to go into the ocean?
Mhm.
Okay.
As soon as I come out away from land, I'll go up more though,
Okay.
about 20 feet above the water.
So right about here, outside the bay there at Heart's Faith, Halo Beach kind of comes out towards an angle, towards the direction is that east, or no, it comes from the west and kind of points east.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to kind of go east a little bit, like a southeast, to get out of the bay and completely cleared from the left and the right on land itself. So right here,
Yeah.
and you go up about 20 feet. So you can go deeper into the ocean, or you can go, wherever you want to go. You're right here. I mean, you can turn around, look at the island, whatever
Yeah.
you do that. Just
Yeah.
kind of take a look.
Yeah.
You're 20 feet up, so you can't see real far, but you can see the Halo Beach area. You can see Heart's Faith, and up in the distance in the mountains, you can see some golden glints on top of a couple mountains with some towers, and see some kind of creatures flying around them, probably like you saw before, dragons and also angelic beings.
Right.
You do notice a solid white tower off not far from you over here.
White Tower.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Nice.
and so what do? You're just floating there. Let's see. Let's see. There was something that happened. 1 second. So what looks like a sailing vessel, a 2-masted sailing vessel, comes down behind you. Like you hear something, and you like turn, and you can see it coming down from space right towards you, like it's coming to the bay.
We'll take off.
Okay, where do you go?
We're gonna go up.
Okay,
Go up really fast.
you go as fast as you
I wanna make
can.
Myra's
Or-
stomach jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just you go way up. She's like, ah! She starts screaming.
Rot.
Yeah. So
Maybe a sports car.
Right.
it's fast. When you think about it, you think it's probably just as fast as the ship used to have.
Nice.
Maybe faster. You think, you're not sure, but. So how high do you go up?
I want to go high enough that I can like get a bird's eye view of the whole island.
Okay, so let's say 5 miles up, maybe 4 miles up.
Okay.
Okay. You can see the whole island. It's beautiful. It's heaven. You know what I mean?
Right.
Luscious, and you do see some sort of city off in this little out over in this bay over here, this bay area.
Uh-huh.
There's some sort of city over there.
Okay.
You see a palace over here, And you see these two mountain peaks that are solid gold at the top of them. And behind them you see a tower, and then kind of up this way you see a tower, and then the fields of Serenity, which are right by the Honor Road right here. You see all kinds of different rainbow colors within there. And yeah.
And just take her for a spin.
In what fashion?
Like head north.
Head north this way?
Yeah.
Up over the city and over the mountains?
You know what? Actually, I'll go around the island.
Okay.
I don't know.
This way?
I forgot to check on any laws. So.
This way or that way?
North.
This way.
Yeah.
So when you get up here and you start moving this way, you look down where the portals are supposed to be. This location called Harmony Beach next to Communion, where the Arcadian Gate, the Paradise Gate, the Outlands Gate to the Prime, and the Astral Gate are located. And right about here and right about here, there are two whirlpools. And the gates themselves, the whole area where all the gates are just covered with dead. And it goes from there all the way over to the beach, Harmony Beach, and Communion, just bodies after bodies after bodies. But you see some of them going down these whirlpools that are located in these two locations right here, where the bodies are kind of floating there everywhere, but some of them are getting caught up in that and going down into it. But as far as the Astral Gate and the Outlands Gate, Paradise Gate, and the Arcadian Gate over here, you can't see the islands and you can't see the portals. They're covered with bodies.
Oh, wow. Okay.
From what you can tell, they do look like undead. But you do notice at Communion and also Harmony Beach, all kinds of celestial angels, archons, and things like that, just standing around in different groups and militia units and stuff like that. There's no fighting going on, and they're just standing there.
Like it's after the fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's from a distance, kind of right here as you start to go that way. Do you stay close to land like that? You notice it's going to probably draw attention from whatever's taking place here if you were to fly over it,
Yeah, no, she just wants to go for a joyride.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Check
but
out the island, but
I do. So you're going to go around this?
yeah.
You go that way, so you're
Yeah.
staying kind of out in deeper water?
Yeah.
Okay. You'll head off this way. When you get to be about right here, you can see Pilgrimage, and you can see the Valley of Splendors, and you can see Crystal Lake and Arconia Key. You actually may even think you can see the house of Buddy Lee up there.
Oh, nice.
And another tower over here. At the top of this mountain here, you see a huge, massive structure, like a city at the top there. As far as the highest one, is probably this one, and this one, and then this is next. You see the Golden Mountains right here, and then you see these islands over towards this outside over here. Ship's really fast. Taking a joyride. So Zira, you come to the helm. What do you? It seems like everything's loaded up. Harrison's over there talking to Gordon and Vay.
So what are we doing, guys?
He's like, well, I'm gonna have him deliver this stuff to Mirabilia.
Okay.
I went ahead and told Alexandria what's going on.
Right.
So what we have here, we're just gonna keep. And let him take that in case something happens. I don't know, I just feel like he should come back and do it again.
Got you.
I don't want to lose all of our product at the same time, right?
No, for real. No.
Just something happens.
Yeah.
You're right. So, what else? We have stuff we're
At
supposed
that-
to be doing.
At that point, walking over the bridge, you guys see a 14-foot tall angelic being with a burning crown and a halo, big wings, and armored up. He's got three angelic beings with him that have hound heads. These are archons. You recognize them. Coming across the bridge, and they're kind of looking over at your ship as they're coming across. Gordon's like, act normal. They waves at him. See the archon nod like that.
Eris
big
and
one.
smile as they look over.
Yeah,
Keep going about her business.
she smiles at him.
And actually, you know
Yeah,
what?
that's what she said. You smile at him?
Can I take it back?
No, no. You can at the end of the smile, when you realize you shouldn't have smiled at him, you can try to make another face as you look away if you want.
I'll grab Gordon's hand.
Okay.
You feel me?
All right.
I realize I shouldn't have done it. She'll grab his hand.
He keeps going. They
Nice.
keep going. Go past the ship.
I forgot how pretty I was for a second. No. She was trying to be nice. Realized she fucked up.
Harrison's like, well, I guess I'll make the run and get it taken care of. Good luck with whatever you guys are here doing. I look forward to doing more business with you soon. Isn't that right, Griffin? You see that monkey like nod like that, and he goes. And Harrison will fire up his ship and
Take off.
take off. He goes out through the docks and everything. Slowly goes. Lily's gone. You're not sure where she's at, and he leaves.
So, Ray would say, what about this White Tower guy? That seems to be the only lead we've gotten so far, unless you guys have another idea. Like, and it's in an attempt to refocus the party. You feel me?
Okay.
They're being. Yeah.
Maybe we could.
Right. We're here for a reason.
So he's
She's
like.
not saying that, but.
So he's someone that helps people or answers questions.
She said that he gives knowledge to people that are worthy and that he answers questions for people.
That was really her only.
Hey Lily,
Yeah.
look for a white tower while you're out zipping around.
I already saw it.
Yeah.
It's south of where you're at now.
So we've been told that there's someone that might be able to help us with our questions there. There was a mention of if you're worthy, but that there's some kind of white mage there.
White mage?
Yeah, and that white tower. A white tower mage or a white mage. You and Myra feel like, I mean, it's heaven. I doubt it's evil, you know what I mean? You and Myra.
Is this a group thing or just to her?
Just to her. Just to her. You want to go check it out?
Okay. Go look at it.
Yeah, just check it out and let us know what it is. What's, maybe we should try to decide
Okay.
about talking to this guy or girl. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never heard of a white tower mage.
Me neither.
I'm not sure what that means.
See what you and Myra can find out.
Okay.
Harrison is leaving now, so he's going to Mirabelle.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
I can do that. I'll head that way.
Okay.
Back to our cell tower.
All right. So you go all the way down to the south. You come back past Heart's Faith, and you'd have to go over the land to get there. You come now, so you probably go around, don't you, like this way?
You betcha.
Okay.
Come in from the south side.
You see palm trees all over the place and little clusters here and there, And you come up, you can see the road, no problem, go straight to the tower. And when you get to the tower, the beach stops and it's nothing but lush grass behind it. As you float in, you can see some type of structure over in a little nook on the side of the mountain in that direction, and then the tower itself. The tower looks like it's made of pure ivory or alabaster. It's strange, it's got that feel, it's kind of shiny or whatever, but surely that would be strange to build the whole tower out of. And then little portions on certain spires have silver and gold and platinum like embedded in the structure itself, and you look at the door and the door is solid silver.
Any identifying marks, symbols?
You'd have to get closer. You'd have to like either float down and look, or you'd have to get closer. You don't have to get out because you got such a small vessel. But
Right. We'll come down. I don't want to come down right on top of it.
so, like, how far from it?
Is my vision doubled here?
It is.
Right.
It is.
100 So 170 feet from it.
Okay. And start looking at the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have any symbols or anything on it. It doesn't even have a door lock, like a knocker or a key or a doorknob or anything like that you can tell from where you're at.
That's what Thealis to Gordon is looking
At-
at it.
As you telepathy, Gordon, you're not disconnected, but you're suddenly not sitting in the Spelljammer anymore. You or Myra, you're both standing in a room full of nothing but bright white in every direction, just standing there. You're like, in every direction. It's like you look down to see what you're standing on, and you're really not even standing on anything. You're just floating there. You hear from all directions around you, "Why have you come?" And we're going to stop right there for this episode and come back for the following episode, which will be 3 of Into the Heavens. You guys got your Spelljammer vessels, pretty cool. Some pretty cool stuff has happened.
Yeah.
Um,
Super cool.
we will pick up right there when we come back. Thank you guys for watching once again. Like, subscribe, share, all that jazz.
There's a gift inside the old gods granted me, a vision of the way to change reality. In the shadows creeping, can't rest your weary head. No time for you to sleep now, or evil it will spread. So gather all your friends and listen to my tale. Adventure story shaping magic and the veil. Dragons, devils, demons, and creatures that I fear, and heroes of the north. Just please don't be scared. The heroes are the monsters to the enemy. It all depends upon the way that you proceed. Original GM, we're here to set you free. Come join in the adventure. Who you wanna be? Who you wanna be? We are heroes.